At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4053. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show. Join us. Once again, we will sit and spin. And today, we get a little inappropriate with 10 rock song lyrics that didn't age so well. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, a Men's Room shout of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack. Drinking and drink.
All right, here we go to Philadelphia, where motorists on I-95 see a real Philadelphia Philly running down the street. Meanwhile, a Florida doctor is fined for radiating the wrong teat. Police looking for person who lost his leg on a railroad track. A man likes antiquing to find things for his crack. And a runaway dog wins $139 on a lottery scratch-off ticket. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a local Washington state woman, she's making national headlines, and not for a good reason. She sustained serious injuries to her face, neck, and jaw when she was attacked by a cougar while riding her bike with friends in the foothills of the Cascade Mountains. Now, one of our local news affiliates here, they did ask the question, how did this happen? So I'll repeat. She was riding her bike in the foothills of the Cascade Mountains where cougars are. Thanks to her fellow cyclists, the attack was not worse. Then there's the Washington state couple making national headlines. They were not attacked by a cougar, but they both sustained injuries when their snowmobile went over a 50-foot embankment and into a wooded ravine. Multiple rescuers pulled them to safety, and both are expected to recover, although the wife received the more serious of the injuries. Then there's 23-year-old Sacramento State baseball player Matt Massanangelo. Now, over the weekend, he played 3 games, and he had a total of 9 at-bats. That is not remarkable. What is remarkable is that he was hit by a pitch 8 of those 9 times at plate, and I want you to keep in mind, he was not being targeted. It was just bad pitching. And finally, we have a man in India who was mauled to death by a lion. And I know what you're thinking. 1, thrill. You are a sexy man. Thank you. And 2, there's no lions in India. Well, there are at the zoo, which is where this guy decided to climb into the lion enclosure for a selfie. You can guess what happened next. The lion going to go ahead and be a lion. But look, people end up in the news every day for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes they should be in the news, but somehow they just weren't covered. And it's just more shocking when it's someone you know or if it's you yourself. And that's what today's question is. What can you not believe happened to you or someone you know?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Start your Las Vegas adventure with the world's ultimate zipline, Slotzilla, at the Fremont Street Experience. Launch from the largest slot machine in the world, traveling up to 35 miles per hour under the largest digital screen on the planet, while basking in the Vegas casino glow. Then grab a bite and a drink from a selection of over 100 bars and restaurants, and explore our multiple stages with free live music nightly. See some of the most fun, funny, and outlandish sights and characters of this legendary destination. Tickets and info at vegasexperience.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, Charles, away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4053. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Once again, we'll be joined by Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show. We'll sit and spin. Certain songs don't age very well, depending on the lyrics, the content, whether they have outdated lyrics or just inappropriate lyrics.
I'm always more curious about the inappropriate because times do change, right? And we had different terms for different people of different statures back in the day. That you put it in the song then, it doesn't mean anything. You listen to it now, you're like, we can't play that. But as far as outdated stuff, I mean, like what I'm sure you can listen to a Chuck Berry. Look, hey, what is it? Come on, baby, let's do the twist, right? All-time classic song. They'll always play it. Nobody does the twist. But we don't call it outdated in spite of the fact that in 70 years, no one's, or the jitterbug or anything.
You listen to the Rolling Stones and Brown Sugar.
Sure.
Okay, that would not be an acceptable song these days.
You don't think so?
No.
And I still do.
Sold in a market down in New Orleans.
Okay,
that's
maybe
the
not that
you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a couple of lines.
Hear them whip the women just around midnight.
Hey, man, I know nobody wants to learn history, but that's part of it.
I understand that. And
but you're right.
And if you're going to learn that from the Rolling Stones, it's probably a good thing.
That's where we're at, Miles.
Okay, but either way, we have 10 rock song lyrics that did not age well coming up as we will sit and spin. What else do we have for you today on this large show?
Hope they die before I get old from the Who. Now they're old.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm just thinking, if you perform that live, do you feel weird? So, you're 70 years old saying, hope I die before I get old. Like, you still feel that way?
You're still touring.
Yeah, isn't one of their biggest songs like Teenage Wasteland?
Yeah, Teenage Wasteland. And man, they haven't been teens in a hot minute.
Right.
We also have your chance to win Pearl Jam tickets. Here's what they said. 2 shows, the Dark Matter World Tour coming to Climate Pledge Arena May 28th and 30th. We have a pair of tickets for you this afternoon. Here's what they said. They said, you guys pick a time and then give the secret word. And when you hear the secret word, you text that to 206-803-ROCK. We have picked the time, and the time today will be 4:20.
I like that.
4:20.
I never saw that coming.
Should be easy for you to remember. We will give you the secret word. Yeah, and then you...
of all the times, is that the easiest one to remember?
That's 4:20. It's the easiest time to remember. Text that word at 206-803-ROCK. Okay, on to the question, what can you not believe happened to you or someone you know? We'll start with a story here out of Washington State, and this story has taken off on a national level as well. As they say, cyclists and hikers are on high alert days after a cougar attacked a woman on a trail near Falls City. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife suspended the search for a second cougar, reportedly prowling in the area. The woman had injuries to her face, neck, and jaw. She was released from a hospital and is expected to be okay. We spent some time in the area and talked to people about safety, according to a sergeant named Carlo Pace. He was on the trails Monday in the foothills of the Cascades. He's trying to educate people about the dangers of wildlife following the cougar attack on a 60-year-old bicyclist. And he explained one group's actions to hold down the cougar with a bike may have actually saved the woman's life.
You think? Yeah.
I'm surprised the animal didn't do any more damage to this poor lady. It was on the Tucool Creek Trail where officers arrived, then shot and killed a 6-month cougar. They said officers got a tip there was another young cougar spotted earlier in the day alongside the one that became violent. Now, police sent out a search hound, but they did not find anything and assume maybe that the cat is long gone. I'm a little bit spooked, said Jacqueline Lee. She said, surprised, but these things have happened. People who come to the trail for the holiday add that they are not letting the horrific weekend incident stop them from recreating out there.
You can't, because, the one thing we always hear about cougars is generally speaking, if it doesn't attack you, you didn't see it. It's not that it's not there, you just didn't see it. Right. So they're out there.
They said the second cougar not involved in the attack, but they said that there are thousands of cougars across the state, and the department gets daily calls for sightings, but people should feel safe. He adds that if you see one, you should get big and never run away. They're all around us, and 99% of the time, they mind their own business.
99% of the time. Yeah.
99% of the time.
Yeah, right. You can write it off like, all right, it was a kid, cougar, juvenile.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, screw it, I'm going to try to attack these humans.
You would think maybe you're testing out your hunt. But also, as somebody pointed out, they said, look, and I know if there's a cougar, act big, do the yelling, all that kind of thing. We've all heard that. But if you're on a bike and you don't see it coming, as they explained to us, as far as cats perceive it, if you're in motion, you're fleeing, which means you're prey. If you're riding a bike, you don't see this thing. It sees you zip by. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go chase this thing down. This lady didn't know. But again, I believe it was Cairo 7 that said, how did this happen? Because they're biking in the foothills of the Cascades, guys. Come on, man.
Yep.
Come freaking on. Like I said, if this woman got on an elevator in downtown Seattle and this thing pounced on her, I would say, okay, how did that happen? But you said, right? She's on a bike in the foothills of the mountains where cougars are. Right. Like, that's how it happened, guys. Jesus H. Christ. This is not a mystery. It's an unfortunate thing. Don't act like you can't piece together how this happened. My God, man. I was like, would she get in an Uber and it was the driver and ambushed her? Like, how did that happen? I don't know. You said she's riding a bike in the foothills of the Cascades. That's how it happened.
We stay in Washington State. Ted, here's one that you can relate to.
Sorry, just makes me angry. Like, don't make it stupid. It's bad enough. Don't be dumb.
Our buddy Phil was on there. He survived a cougar attack.
So here's the thing. So on Cairo, to their credit, last night when they're running the story, they interviewed a guy who'd been attacked by a cougar 30 years earlier. And I'm listening to this guy, very cool, very calm, very collected. Ted, you explained today, that's your very good friend, Phil.
Yeah.
And I'm not tracking with that as I'm watching the guy. And he kind of recalls what happened with him. And they're like, even though it's 30 years ago, he remembers it like it was yesterday. And he's kind of like, well, yeah. When you're attacked by a cougar, you remember the details of these things. But they did make the point that, hey, they heard there was a second cougar in the area. They're going to look for it. But he was just like, they're not going to find it. It's a cougar. He's like, it's gone. Don't bother. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's still around.
Hey, look, man, I've been attacked by my cat, a house cat.
Right.
It hurts like hell.
Yes, it does.
That's like a cat that weighed like 8 pounds.
I've seen a bear, a black bear.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have seen a bear, and bears will venture into neighborhoods and stuff. But outside of Phil, who physically wrestled a cougar, I don't know anybody that's ever just seen one.
No, I haven't either. That's kind of what they do. They're like little cat ninjas. By the way, speaking of bears, I don't know if this is correct, but my daughter was very proud of herself over this long weekend. She goes, Dad, I've come up with the bear survival sayings. Right. I said, okay. So let me see if I get this right. Oh, crap. Hold on. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. What did she say? If it's white, good night.
Okay, that's good.
But she said, do you know why I said that? I said, well, if it's a black bear, fight back because they're going to come after you, but they're a little bit smaller. If it's a grizzly bear or brown bear, they say play dead. So if it's brown, lay down. And baby, I assume you mean if it's a polar bear, then a damn thing you can do. She's like, oh, yeah. So, yeah, she was very proud of herself.
Well, Ted, here's a story you can relate to, believe it or not. And we stay here in Washington State. A husband and wife from Auburn, both 52 years old, are recovering after a snowmobile accident sent them to the hospital Sunday afternoon. Dispatch received SOS signals from a GPS device in the Cooper Lake area at 11:51 a.m. County Sheriff's Office and Search and Rescue, they did not arrive until about an hour later, around 1 o'clock. Help came to the injured married couple when a snowboarder came across the two after their snowmobile went over a 50-foot embankment and into a heavily wooded ravine. The snowboarder reported their injuries to a television station. Ground teams, snowmobile teams, high-angle rope rescue teams, they were launched by multiple county officials. The Snoqualmie Pass Ski Patrol Rescue even interrupted a planned day of training to respond and assist. That seems awful nice. A planned a day of training when they could just learn from doing the real thing.
That had to be exciting.
We have to cancel this to go do what we were going to practice.
But the flip side of that is, if I'm the one waiting to be rescued, like, what do you mean they're training?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Right. Ask anybody who's training if they would rather be doing something different. You know,
of course.
You got basketball practice going on. If the
Wanna
coach
just
came
play
out
a
and said,
game?
hey, would you guys just like to play the team that's here next door? Like, hell yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, of course. I'm with you.
Play the game. Teams arrived shortly after one assisted the husband who had made his way up the hill with help from a passerby, and litter carried the more seriously injured patient. His wife about 200 yards across the snowy slope to tracked UTV for extraction. And she was airlifted to Wenatchee and a emergency landing zone at the Cle Elum High School parking lot. The man was taken by ambulance to Yakima. So our question, what can you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK.
You ever been attacked by a wild animal? And I'm not saying cougar.
A wild animal.
It could, even
Well,
if
my
it's a
cat was
squirrel,
wild,
because you're going to give it a Cheeto.
I mean, does a bee
raccoon.
count?
I mean, it's an animal.
My cat was feral when I got it.
Technically. Yeah, I mean, you got a feral cat. That's
Yeah, so
basically
it's a wild animal.
It's just a cougar that's not big enough to kill you. That is essentially what you brought
I have
to your
not
home.
been attacked.
My father he wasn't quite attacked, but when we used to live out in the woods, the thing that would piss him off was everyone assumed it's raccoons, but we used to have our trash cans behind the house. We had a little bit of yard, and then it's all trees. So every morning we'd get up, and the trash cans had been ripped apart, the trash everywhere. I don't know why it bothered him looking back, because it was mine and my brother's job to get all the trash back in the trash can. Like, we should have been the ones cussing, not my father so much. Anyway, we hear them tip over one night, and he is pissed off. So he goes downstairs, and he's going to scare the raccoon away, as he says, and we hear him slam the sliding door. Then there's dead silence for like 2 minutes. Like, it's just weird, man. So my brother and I go downstairs to check on him. This is at night. We flip on the back light there, and he is pressed against the house, and he's basically talking out of the side of his mouth. Don't make any noise. And about 10 feet in front of him, keep in mind there's a spilled trash can, so about 10 feet in front of him on the other side is a skunk that is pissed off, man. So its tail's kind of shaking, right? It's just hissing at my dad. And my dad's doing that kind of, put your back against the wall, and you do that kind of slow slide to get to the doorway. And the skunk, I mean, it's staring him down the whole time. Dad gets in the house, slams the door, and as soon as he slams it, and maybe because he slammed it in a loud noise, skunk sprayed the house. I mean, just sprayed the entire house. And even though we're inside and none of us made contact with whatever their tail juice is, I cannot explain. Everyone smelled a skunk, right? But when it is your home, I mean, it seeps through the walls, it comes through the windows, it's just everywhere. So we ended up staying in a motel for like 3 or 4 days.
Damn.
We could not get rid of the smell. After about a week, it started to dissipate. But even when my buddies would come over, they're like, dude, this smells like a skunk died. I'm like, nah, dog, they sprayed the house because they were mad at my dad, who's going to take out a raccoon, or so he thought, because it kept going into the trash. But that was only like animal attack, even if that's not true. What are that?
Well, it's the worst case scenario.
Catbirds. Those sons of bitches are
Catbirds.
Catbirds. It's these ugly brown birds. If you saw it, you recognize it. You just didn't know they were called catbirds. And it was a spring. I would walk my dog, and I could not explain it. This bird would come down and just attack my dog repeatedly. I had a big dog. Dog didn't care. He would just keep walking. But this bird kept hitting it for like 3 weeks. I could not figure it. And it was only in this one spot. On like a mile walk is this one spot. And I'm like, here it comes. And sure enough, this thing kept squawking its face off. Never attacked me, just the dog. Couldn't figure it out. Someone explained they're watching their eggs. Or the eggs had already hatched and she had babies. I don't know. But either way, they get fiercely protective. It was rather comical. But yeah, this bird, I mean, like clockwork. This thing will come down, and just keep hitting him in the ass, hit him in the head, and the dog would just look at me with his sad eyes like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been chased out of a lake by a duck.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it didn't bite me.
How long?
It got close to me.
How close did you let it get before you said, all right, I'm going to...
Well, in the duck's defense, we were swimming by a dock, and there was a duck, and it had ducklings with them.
Right.
They weren't like tiny ducklings, but they were a little bit bigger. So then I got the idea to get a closer look. I would just put an inner tube around my head, and then I could just kind of crawl along the bottom of the water.
Never figured it out.
The ducks won't figure it out. And I got near the ducks. I got pretty close, and then I stood up, and the mom duck just turned around and, like, chased me. I had to run out of that lake. Thought that duck was going to bite me on the bum.
We did that, me and Migs, man, years ago. We're in Portland. And granted, we were on some substances, a little bit drunk. It's about 3 a.m, but these geese had been outside of the hotel. It's like this big field kind of thing near the water. And you're talking hundreds of geese, but they've been there all day, all night. And then we thought it'd be funny because they keep honking at us. Like, let's go F with them, scare them. Well, geese don't scare you. He's the first thing that we discovered, but we discovered we do. So, like, the two, like, male geese, I don't know what you call them. Man, these things looked at us, started honking, and they get this, like, weird shape. They kind of extend their neck out.
Yep. They get as big as they can.
Dude, yes. And they're bigger than I thought they were. And these things started hauling ass after us. And before I could even say run, like, we're both hauling ass back to the hotel, like, oh, my God. But the problem is when the two dude geese started chasing us, like, all of them decided to follow. So there's hundreds of geese chasing us. I was like, let's not do that again.
What could you not believe happened to you?
In the fast-paced world of attacking, speed is everything, and that's where the Furon 7 Plus shines. Engineered for accuracy and precision at a rapid pace, it's your secret weapon on the pitch. Experience overall comfort and precise striking, even in the game's fastest moments. The nylon outsole, with its V-shaped stud configuration, is designed for firm ground, giving you the grip you need to outmaneuver your opponents. Step up your attacking game and learn more and purchase the Furon at NewBalance.com.
Shall I take your order, or do you need a minute?
Yes, I'll be ready. Just buying a car on Carvana.
What?
It's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes. All I had to do was answer a few questions.
What? That's handy.
Yeah, now I'm customizing my down and monthly payments.
What? That's an exquisite deal.
And just like that, Carvana's delivering my car in a couple days.
What?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'll have the burrito.
Visit Carvana.com to finance your next car.
Financing subject to credit approval. Delivery fees may apply.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
As we start into the new year, a lot of people are looking to get healthier. That includes Hero Bread, delicious, real bread with benefits. Hero Bread have just launched their new recipe using heart-healthy olive oil. Hero Bread serves up 0 to 1 grams of net carbs, 5 to 11 grams of protein, and high fiber in every delicious serving. Made with natural ingredients, Hero Bread supports gut health, promotes weight management, and helps maintain blood sugar, all with no compromise on the taste, texture, and bready goodness you expect from your favorites. Now they're listening to their fans and updating their recipe with olive oil, an antioxidant-rich oil that's been shown to reduce cholesterol and minimize the risk of heart disease. Our products are just like the flour-based foods you're used to because they are made the exact same traditional way, using 4 key ingredient components and none of the bad stuff. Try it today with code IHM10 for 10% off your purchase at hero.co. That's code IHM10 for 10% off at hero.co.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, it's good to go back to the gym, try to get yourself in shape, you know what I mean? Do some good for your body and everything else.
Why would I do that?
Well, it's healthy.
Hence my question.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. After hearing this story, you probably won't want to. A 69-year-old man was charged with aggravated assaults, 69 years old, after stabbing another member at the LA Fitness Gym in North Austin this past Friday.
Oh, all right.
John David Mackinson was arrested after the incident at the gym. According to the affidavit, he stabbed the victim in the left butt cheek with a 4 to 6 inch folding knife at around 11:05 in the morning.
What?
Yeah. Apparently, he and the victim had a dispute over a leg press machine.
Oh, come on.
After the stabbing, Magginson chased the victim through the locker room while still holding the knife. The victim suffered a severe laceration nearly 4 inches long that required medical treatment, including staples and a blood transfusion.
Jesus.
Based on the amount of blood he lost. Witnesses described Magginson yelling threats at others after the stabbing. He was detained by police nearby later, a short time. He had previously, by the way, been convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in 2021.
Yeah.
He now faces a new second-degree felony charge in the latest incident. Online records showed that Magginson is in custody at a county jail with a bond at $50,000.
Anger management.
An argument over the leg
press machine.
And the next thing you know, you have a 4-inch gash in your butt.
That's not what I would expect to happen.
Our question, what can you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, God forbid you did a squat or a lunge.
Hey, man, I
or
hate
any other
exercising.
1,000 other leg exercises you could do.
Here's the good news about me, though, everyone. I hate the idea of going to the gym. So if you see me at the gym and say, hey, I want to use that. But cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I'm done. There you go, man.
All you.
Yes, sir.
You know what? That's not a bad call. Just start being that guy in the gym. Like, can I work in? Like, no. And the guy next to you is like, thank God, I want to go home.
Yeah, no. I would speak up. You, this one, man.
It's always on the phone guy.
What do you mean?
No, they'll sit there for 2 minutes not doing anything, and they're just
on
your,
they're not on the phone.
I like to use the machine.
Right. They're not using it. They're just sitting
They're sitting on.
Yeah. Hello, Taylor. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up, dudes?
Hola!
I just want to start off and say that something tells me Miles is going to forget about the code word at 420.
Why would you ever
Don't tell
think
him.
that? That's a horrible thing to say. That's never happened in the history of this show all the time.
What am I supposed to do?
I'm a horrible person. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What time do you think he remembers? I'm going to say 4:32. That's my guess.
He's on it now.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Just keep reminding me.
So my story takes place, like 28, 25 years ago, something like that. I was 7, and I was living in a trailer park in Everett, and I'm outside playing with a yo-yo with my buddy, and a cop car pulls in, and they pull right up to us, and I just remember looking at it like, what is going on?
What did you think might be going on? Since typically at age 7, you don't have too many run-ins with law.
Well, being a 7-year-old drug runner, I kind of got nervous. No, I had no idea. I had no clue. But when you live in a trailer park, you see cop cars a lot.
Yeah.
So he pulls right up to us, and the cop gets out, and then he opens the back door, and a guy with a giant camera gets out, and I immediately think cops. And
the TV show Cops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the other side, this guy gets out with a reflective vest that says police on the front and an army helmet, and then I recognize that's Tom Green.
What?
And yeah. And they come up to us and like, hey, we want to film a bit. Are you okay with that? And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. My friend, he runs into his trailer. So they're like, just keep playing with your yo-yo. So I'm playing with the yo-yo, and he comes up, and they're like, ready, go. And he goes, oh, I see you're yo-yoing. Yo-yos are cool. And, I'm like, yeah. And he goes, do you know what this says on my chest? Police. He's like, oh, you know how to read, and you live here? Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
At the time, I didn't get it at the time. I'm 7. I don't know the stereotypes.
Sure.
And then he goes, do you know what this is? And he points to his helmet, and I'm like, an army helmet. He goes, yeah, it protects my brain. And then he got down on all fours and just started slamming his head on the ground. And I don't know what to do. And they're like, and cut. And he gets up, gets back in the cop car, doesn't say anything to me. And a producer gets out of the front passenger seat and goes, I need to talk to your parents. So I run in, and I'm like, Mom, Tom Green's outside. She's like, okay, yeah, go to bed. I'm like, there's a cop, too. And she's like, what did you do? So she goes outside and she has to sign a waiver just in case they air it. They give me a T-shirt, an MTV T-shirt. And I remember before going to bed, I tried my best to do like a Tom Green signature on the back, but I'm 7 years old, so I don't even know cursive yet. No one believes me, and I don't think they ever aired it because it was so dumb.
Yeah, but on Tom Green's show, the dumber it is, the more likely it was to be aired.
Look, he was on almost every day. You might have just missed it.
Yeah, I've checked the internet, but I completely forgot about it. So obviously I heard this, and so now I'm probably going to go in and do some investigating. But yeah, it was wild.
Look, man, please do, and I'll tell you, if you do find this video clip, please send it to us.
I'll tell you what, he was really, really slamming his head into the ground.
He might not remember.
He's full commit.
Yeah.
He is full commit.
He swam across Lake Washington.
We had him on our show years ago.
A lot of crazy stuff.
I do remember this, Ted. He was on our show years ago.
Just real quick, though.
Yeah.
You remember that episode?
Where he swam across.
Right. He makes this giant big deal out of it and stuff, and he does it, and, like, he's kind of struggling. I mean, look, what is that, 3 miles?
Yeah, that's a good clip, man.
Maybe not 3 miles. Either way. But then it's funny because there's just people standing there like, yeah, I'm a Boy Scout. We do this every summer.
Thanks.
Yeah, right.
But like at the time, like, right, I still lived in the D.C. area, so I had no idea about Lake Washington. So
How big it was, yeah.
Right, and he was like, nobody, because he was just selling this as this massive deal. Nobody had ever done it. So that's why it's funny when the guys like the Boy Scouts do it every year.
Every year, bud. Now, he was on our show, and
more than once.
He just kind of walks in, and he's going to be what he's going to be that day. Hello, fellas. Da-da-da. He takes a seat, and one of the first things he does is he gives out a cell phone number. And we did not believe he's giving out his real number, but he gives out a cell phone number. That man's phone started ringing off the hook because everyone listening is like, BS. And they called his ass. And he's just like, well, it's just what I do. I'm like, all right, man. You know, that's what you want to do.
He did that for a while.
Yeah, it was
sometimes he would answer, sometimes he wouldn't.
Yeah.
What could you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Bobby. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. Hola.
Hola.
Yeah, this takes place back in the day. I was living in Alaska. I was born and raised here in 2000. So anyways, I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. 20 below is the average temperature during the winter. So anyways, on my way to school every morning, I would be chased by a mama moose and her two calves back up to the house, which is probably about 600 yards distance, right? Through the snow, through the wind, through the rain. Or not rain, but yeah, freezing cold weather.
And you could count on this. Like, you just knew for a fact, when I get home from school, this is going to happen.
No, it was in the morning, actually.
In the morning, okay.
Yeah, yep. It was like a morning routine, right? They'd cruise through the area wherever they're going, venturing, doing their moose thing. So anyways, I came up with the idea of building a tree stand. And I had to build a tree stand at the bus stop, right? So I wouldn't have to run all the way back to the house. I'd just climb up the tree stand and just be like, haha, you guys can't get me now, right?
Let me just, real quick, man. I like where your brain is at. I like how you think. But, like, do you relay this information to your parents?
Oh, yeah. My dad actually said, good job, son.
So he's like, just build a tree stand. Stop worrying about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was like, good job. I didn't even ask him. I just did it, I just went on my own and did it. Because growing up in Alaska, you got to, sink or swim, man. It's a do or die up there, kind of in a sense, you know what I mean? As far as survival and all that.
Yeah, you're being chased by a moose and her family every morning to go to school.
All you're trying to do is going to school is bad enough.
Right.
Absolutely. You're going to school, got your new kicks on and whatever. Nope, you better hit the bricks and get up that tree.
I think since you grew up there, the climate of Fairbanks is changed quite a bit. Because the one lake that's there, people are swimming there in the summertime. It got up.
Yeah, that's the man-made lake. Yeah,
it's gone up to like 90 degrees a few times. It's been kind of crazy.
During like July and June, it gets up to like 90, 95. It's just a different heat because it's not as humid up there. You know what I mean?
Right. How long was this? Like one school year? Was this like K through 8? How many years was this moose and her family chasing it?
The moose incident started when I was probably in 6th grade to 8th grade, and after my mom got tired of taking me because I'd missed the bus because I'd run back to the house, and we lived like 20 miles out of town, you know what I mean? She'd take me to there was only like 2 schools, so she'd have to take me to school, and she's like, I ain't doing this anymore. I was like, I hear you. I'm not doing this on purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a moose chasing you.
Okay, let me ask you this: like in certain,
moose, Mom. There's a moose.
Certain situations were kids allowed to take a snowmobile to school?
Oh, yeah, we took a snow machine, and we also, me and my buddy, he had a little dog sled team. We'd take 3 dogs, and he'd take 3 dogs, but we'd just do that just to get out of school and be like, oh, we can't leave the dogs out there. We got to take them back. You know what I mean?
And your teachers would buy into that.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, you guys should probably think about that next time. And
So how many times did you have to climb up in this tree stand? Or was it pretty much every day for 2 years?
Average, monthly average, it was just only during the winter months. It was, which is half the year at least, right? So I'm going to say monthly average at least 15 times.
All right, so now here's the thing. All right, so now you have built yourself a tree stand so you don't have to run home and have your poor mom drive your ass to school. So after you climb up into the tree stand, how long do the moose wait for you to come down? Or are they pretty quick to just leave?
They just cruise on by because I could see them, from a distance, come over the bend a little bit. So I just climb up there and just wait. And it just takes them long enough to get from point A to point B, which is past me, to get there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it took maybe 5 to 10 minutes at the most.
All right, and you basically got to watch Mama Moose's children grow up over these 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And then she didn't have a moose, and then we put her in the freezer.
Okay.
Jesus. No, you're not.
Yeah. Sustenance, hunters, as long as you eat the food and, thanks for the blessing, Lord, and all the good stuff, you know what I mean? So... But, yeah, the funny thing is, though, here's the catcher. When my sister started school, she was on her own. I didn't tell her about it.
You did not tell her?
I was a real jerk, yeah.
And I'm guessing she had the same experience?
The funny thing is, we come home from on the bus that day, and Dad's up. Actually, Dad has already built her a tree stand next to mine. I was like, nice, Pops.
Okay.
Right?
I'll ask her. She gets the special treatment. I'll build you a tree stand for the moose.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, it'd be all right reason for the parent to be like, all right, I'll drive you.
But
a moose is chasing you down every day.
But I guess, to his point, just saying, hey, man, we live in Fairbanks. So to Mom, so there's a moose chasing. But why do I have to drive you to school? It's what happens, honey. They're down there, right? Hello, drama. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, gentlemen. Hookers and blow.
Hola.
Hey, so my story takes place about 30-some years ago. And I was deployed. This is when I was in the Marine Corps. We were deployed, heading over to Somalia. And we're in the ship in the Indian Ocean. And during monsoon season, they get some crazy swells during that time. And we had officers up on the upper deck, listed down below and such. Well, one of the officers in the middle of the night, I don't know how it happened. We couldn't figure it out. But on his rack, they have hooks that hang off where they can hang their jackets and their caps. During one of the swells on the ship, it must have rocked him from his bed. And I don't know how this happened, but he landed and it caught his junk and ripped his scrotum open. And we only know this because, our guys that in medical, they were telling us, oh, guess what happened to Major so-and-so? And we're like, oh, my God, dude, we couldn't believe it. But, yeah, I guess he, when it happened, it ripped it open and obviously pain and everything. But he climbed out of the rack holding his junk and then walked all the way to medical talking about, hey, you need to get me patched up so I can PT again. I'm like, oh, hell no.
So he stayed on the ship?
Oh, yeah. No, they didn't medevac him off. We have doctors and corpsmen and such on the ship, but
I guess he's just stitch it up and take penicillin.
I don't know if that's probably what happened. I know they stitched him up and he wasn't able to PT, like physical training, for a while. But yeah, when they were all telling us the story, we were just like, oh my God, like every guy winces when they hear a kick in the balls or something like that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine having a hook rip open the sack and have your boys hanging.
Did you guys ever experience any pirates off the coast of Somalia?
At that time, no. This was when our unit was deployed to Somalia 2 weeks after the Black Hawk Down incident.
Okay. All right. And would Somali pirates go after a military ship?
No, they're not that stupid. We
Yeah.
just,
Okay. I didn't think so. I was like, that just seems like a real bad idea.
They usually the pirates that go for they don't even go for the container ships, the ones that have the connexes all bunched up. They're moving too fast, too tall. They go for a lot of the cargo ships, easier access. Because I also did contract work when I was in the military doing anti-piracy work. And so they'll go to the container ships that don't have security, that travel within the Gulf of Aden or along the coast of Somalia, what they call high-risk areas.
See, I think it'd be much more entertaining if they just dressed up like the pirates we know to be.
Thank you.
You know,
the one thing that
like
messes with you keep talking. And look, as
like
far
55 rings on your hands.
Modern day pirates go. Somali pirates are clearly they're the front runners. But we all grew up with this general image of what we have.
Big beard,
And then you look at these guys. I'm like, brother, you look like a crackhead of Baltimore City. You know what I mean?
Funny hat.
You need a different.
But the original pirates were just kind of still dressing like people dressed.
I know, but that's the
what I
only
think of.
image we have, man.
Right.
The flowy shirts, the vest, the patch over there.
Yeah, a sword on your side, like Captain Morgan.
Yeah, I look at these guys.
I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Like, brother,
I'm just saying.
You look like someone I went to high school.
Well, they also have automatic weapons.
I know, but even if
I'm not saying they're not
fine.
fierce. I just want more than a tank top and a pair of shorts.
It's the look.
man.
A full-length coat, even though it's 95 degrees.
I know, Mike, but if they're going to be called pirates, look like freaking.
All right,
hey,
Mike,
what about
you
the
wanna wear
pirates
all
of the
that- Mike,
Caribbean?
you wanna wear all
It's
that
hot
getup in
in the
Africa?
Caribbean.
Mike,
there's humidity. It's 90 degrees. Captain Morgan, he still rocked his long.
Baseball players don't wear stirrups anymore.
They don't,
but they still
they're
wear
not
a
pirates.
uniform. They still wear a uniform. I mean, I think that's the whole point. Look, if you send your kid out for trick or treat, right? They got a do-rag on, a T-shirt, and a pair of shorts.
Right. I'm a Somali pirate.
Yeah, you're not a pirate.
Yeah, people. I'm not giving you
pirate.
candy.
You're not getting anything from me. You're not a pirate.
I'm a modern day pirate.
And you say no. I know. Maybe you know how to fix an outboard. Whatever the deal is. But
Right.
at the same point, no, you're not a pirate. You don't get
I
anything.
agree. I'm going to try to have my kid dress up like, look,
You
man,
would
here's
really
a tank
withhold
top.
candy from that.
I just think that they would get much more notoriety if they just dress like pirates.
Or just wear a tricorn, the hat.
So you're worried the Somali pirates don't have they're not talked about enough.
Okay, look.
No, they're not repping the pirate world today. We should call them something different.
Ted,
They're taking people hostage and stealing stuff on the water. That's all you need to be a pirate.
But we just raided the cargo
I disagree.
ship.
You need the clothes. To me, they're bandits.
The guys that are on the cargo ship that we just invaded, they're going to walk the plank. I mean, we're pirates.
At very least,
And there's
can
going
we
to be
get,
crocodiles in the Indian Ocean, and they're going to eat them.
at very least, can we get Jolly Roger flags?
Something.
Like that seems like it should be just a basic, though.
Is that
I
too
will
much,
agree with
Ted?
them on this one, Ted. They need a Jolly Roger flag.
At least the Jolly Roger will call it even, right?
That's right.
Say, look, if you're not going to wear the cool gear and talk like this, matey,
we already know you're coming, okay? There's no reason why your little speedboat's coming up to my cargo
We
ship,
know
okay?
what you're
So if I'm going to rob a bank, I have to be in a skin-tight black outfit.
Damn right.
With like a little thing across my eye.
Damn
No,
right.
You should look like a
that's
raccoon.
stealing
That's
a diamond
And I
after
gotta
hours.
tiptoe around.
Absolutely.
No, if you rob a bank, ski mask. If you're going to dress like you, Ted, it's like, this needs to be a museum, and you need to come down from the ceiling. If you're going to tiptoe, look, if you're a tiptoe,
Back in the day,
come
all
down
the
from the ceiling.
robbers looked the same way. Prancing around.
Robbing banks?
Anything.
I don't think they were
just don't think-
prancy.
I
I
just
think
don't think-
cat burglars were prancy. I feel like bank robbers, you need to go with like a Tommy gun, fire into the air,
Right.
and yell.
That's like me saying I'm a pro It's
Yeah.
like me saying I'm a pro basketball player. No, you're not. You're a 6-foot white guy who doesn't have any ups. Like I can call myself whatever I want,
Right.
but that doesn't mean I really am one. I'm an NBA player.
Somebody says Somali
The dude that
water
just won the
bandits.
dunk
I like
contest is a 6-foot white guy.
All right, well, okay, maybe he's got skills. I don't.
Okay, but
so I
they
can't go
don't
around saying
play-
I'm a pirate unless I'm a pirate.
They're not playing in the modern day NBA in doggone jeans and polo shirts.
They might
They're
as
wearing
well.
the uniform
I don't
that
know.
calls for it, is what they're saying.
I just think the real pirates need to call them out. That's all. You're not a pirate. You're a guy with an outboard motor.
We need Blackbeard to come in and lay down the law.
You're a guy in a boat with a bad attitude.
Reorient the pirates of today.
What could you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Over 13,000 people in the Seattle area are homeless. Brian is helping to make a difference through Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
I was addicted to meth, sleeping in my car, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got off drugs, earned a bachelor's degree in theology, and have almost completed a master's in counseling. Today, I'm the director of outreach at the mission.
And grace will lead me home.
To hear more, volunteer, or donate, visit ugm.org.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet the New Balance Fuel Cell 4040 V7, the choice of elite ball players like Michael Harris. Engineered for responsiveness and agility, this versatile option is built for speed demons who demand peak performance. With fuel cell foam underfoot and a synthetic mesh upper, experience unparalleled breathability, comfort, and a secure fit as you round the bases. The nitrogen-infused fuel cell midsole propels you forward with every step, ensuring you stay ahead of the game. Learn more and purchase the 4040 at newbalance.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Your chance to win tickets to see Pearl Jam coming up. We'll give you the secret word at 420.
Will we?
420. And text that word to 206-803-ROCK. In the meantime, our question, what can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bichos.
Hola.
All right, well, I thought of another story on the phone, but because I respect Mike, I'm not going to change my story.
Excellent.
So you get to hear so lucky you guys, you get to hear that my cousins, so I have a cousin who had a kid with a girl, like 7 years ago, but, they still have a cordial relationship, but they're not together. And he got a phone call from his kid's mom Saturday night that he missed, and then a subsequent text saying, "Hey, my car battery died," or something like that. I need a ride. I need an Uber, and he didn't get back to her in time, and he got a call Sunday morning. She got hit by a car and she's dead. Like,
Jesus, dude! Wow,
a Lifetime movie.
Okay. I don't know the Lifetime movies do that, man.
No, they don't. Wow, okay. Well,
the Lifetime movie, it's already happened. It's 3 years in the past. They don't open with this crap like the movie Up. You know what I mean?
Man, oh, man.
They just say that it happened.
Okay.
They don't show you, and that's where she finds her new love. That's the Lifetime formula there. That's a little more like Disney. Like, let's just whack these people up front, make them there.
Did not see that's what I'm thinking of.
Did not see that one coming.
No, I did not think that.
Jesus.
Wow.
Okay.
Thanks for the pick-me-up, dude.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK. Take two.
Other people call and say, "Hey, man, I was chased by a moose and I'm at a tree stand. I'm just trying to get to school."
Met Tom Green.
Yeah, I met Tom Green was banging his head on the ground because he's wearing a helmet. And, well, she died. Okay. All right, man. Here's one from the text line. One time, me and my boyfriend were in the middle of it, and he had his nipples pierced, and my hair got caught in one of his piercings. And his piercing got ripped out. And the blood went into my mouth.
Ooh. Okay. But you're still alive. What can you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matt, part 2. Welcome to the men's room.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Hold
can.
on. We got you.
How's it going? How's it going?
We're doing great, man. Thank you, brother.
Good, good. So my story is kind of short, kind of long, depending on how you guys want to hear it. It happened about 4 years ago. I had a kidney transplant recently, so that's the good news. But how it happened was I had both my kidneys depleted from a spider bite.
From a spider bite?
Yeah,
Jeez.
So I had a staph infection. I was out drinking with my buddies and to celebrate my birthday, and I woke up and both my legs were covered in bumps. So I went to the emergency room, and they're like, "Oh, you got bit by a spider." So I contacted they were just gave me antibiotics and stuff like that, and I didn't know what to do with that. And over time, it just took a while, but both my kidneys got shot. And
when you say it took a while, like how long are we talking from the time the spider bit you? 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years, and the doctors didn't know what to do about it, and they were trying to take care of me as best they could, but they called it an IgA disease.
What does that mean?
Honestly, I don't know. It's a very rare.
You should look that up since you haven't. You know? Typically, people know what they've got.
But either way, you know it's not anything good.
Do you know the type of spider that bit you?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Where were you when you got bit?
I was in Tacoma with my buddies just at a bar, and I woke up and it was there.
So you think it bit you at the bar or while you were asleep?
I was asleep.
Okay. See, I was hoping you would say that you were in a jungle someplace, or you were
somewhere
overseas,
where I'll never be.
Not in a bar in
No.
Tacoma, which I frequent.
Yeah, the bar in Tacoma, Magoo's, if that's all right.
Okay.
Well, I think,
Thanks for the voucher.
I think you got bit while you were sleeping.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking at the bar
Probably
and something
was,
bites
but-
me, I'd react.
Yeah, but I just woke up and I had this crazy infection, and just over time, it was kind of crazy.
And you've since had your kidney transplant, you said?
Correct, I did.
How long ago was that?
About 3 months ago.
3 months. And how long were you on the waiting list? Because as far as transplants go, kidneys have the longest wait list.
So if I lived in the East Coast, it could have been like about 3 years. But since I was in Washington State, it took about 6 months.
Okay, now how do you
Nice.
feel? Do you feel better?
I do, actually. Before I wasn't able to like have potassium, so like oranges and bananas. I'm 31 years old, so if that clears anything up for anyone.
What were some of the other things? Like when you say potassium, we think of Special K cereal and bananas. But after you said oranges, I would have no idea that that's a source of potassium.
Yeah, I couldn't have oranges. I had to do dialysis 3 times a week because of this occurrence.
Do you know who your donor was?
I do. It was actually a family friend.
Okay. All right.
He didn't know he's donated. Took him to Mexico, put him in a nice bath, and just cut it out himself.
Yeah, right.
After you got the new kidney, like, could you have a drink again, or did you stop drinking?
I pretty much stopped drinking.
Probably a good call.
Yeah.
So you don't know what the person who had the kidney before has done to it.
I'm gonna do the best I can.
You don't want my kidneys.
So, by the way, good call on the spider story.
So,
and then she died.
Well, I'm just saying, it's kind of ironic. He was at a bar, got bit, and then his kidney was terrible.
Now, wait a minute. You said that if you're on the East Coast, it could have taken up to 3 years to get the kidney transplant. Luckily, you're here in Washington State, about 6 months. But your friend or family friend ended up donating the kidney. So,
Even though I was on the waiting list, it still would have took about 6 months.
well, how does that
And it
work,
was a
though? Because
life
you're on the
donor.
waiting list, all right? So there's a bunch of people that need kidneys. We know this. That are major blood types. We understand that. But if I say, hey, doc, I'm willing to give this guy one of my kidneys, why would they still make you wait? Or is it just waiting for the actual surgery?
It's just waiting for the actual surgery.
Ah, okay.
Even though the person's cleared and ready to go, it's just waiting for it.
Okay. All right, Matt, I don't know if you know this, but someone just texted in, and I don't know if this is true. It says apparently raisins have the most potassium.
Well, that's good because you don't have that crappy, potato salad.
Yeah. Man, oh, man. Like I said, other than bananas and special case cereal, I would not know. The doctor said avoid potassium. I'd be like, I don't know.
I mean, banana gets most of the credit for potassium.
It does get the credit. I only figured out special K because K represents potassium or whatever the hell it is in the periodic chart. But when he said oranges, I'm like, oranges? Because you just hear vitamin C.
But I mean, I would assume most fruits, if you're looking for a source of potassium, would be that.
I'm just learning
There's
that
got to
now.
be some greens too, right?
Probably. I honest to God don't know.
I don't eat that healthy.
Because different foods get
It's not about
different love.
eating healthy enough. It's not about eating. It's just a matter of, do you know it's in there?
Yeah, I would not know. No.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Marcus. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola, bichola.
Hola.
Woo. So, recently, it was about July of last year. I'm just hanging out, in my street, doing nothing, holding a knife. That's doing nothing. They told me to put the knife down. I did. I got tased by 2 cops. They came up, tased me. I walked back to my truck. I was holding on to the steering wheel because I was trying to leave before they got here. I was holding on to the steering wheel. My dog was in the passenger seat. My dog jumped out. So one of the cops dropped their taser, shot my dog twice, killed my dog. I got pissed off, ripped the other taser out of me, and my girlfriend was sitting in the truck with a canopy on the back of the
bed,
a flat canopy on the back of whatever it's called, the bed. That's what it's called. So I slid across that, hit her window. The first cop shot me in the head. Luckily, I was backing up, grazed me, got 9 staples in the head. The next cop, I had my face covered. You can clearly see in the camera. I was covered up, walked up, shot me another 5 times.
Why would all this happen if, in theory, you're standing in the street doing nothing?
Exactly. I have no charges pressed against me. Everything's internal investigation. So you damn right I got a lawyer, so...
Oh, good. Okay.
Why were you holding a knife in the middle of the street doing nothing?
I got to ask that, too.
Because that's probably why they call it.
I live in Salton. I live in,
So if I go there, are there typically people walking around with knives holding them in the street?
Knives getting... No. At that time, I do not know. I like to throw knives at my fence, so I imagine it was that. I was,
So you were at home?
I was at home, yeah. It happened right in front of my house.
Okay.
Were you altered? Have you been drinking or smoking? Or
Actually, I was sober for the one day of my life. But that doesn't mean the drugs that I've done before didn't kick in. So, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, right. Just, I can imagine sitting in my yard throwing a knife, but it seems odd you'd be in the middle of the street with a knife.
Holding a knife, yeah. With my dog sitting in my car, and my girlfriend in the bed of my truck. But my house is right there. And then the cops come up and tase me for no particular reason. I'm just saying, and look, I don't know. I was not there. I bet you there's more to the story.
You don't hang out in the front yard in your car?
We always do. When I get home from work, nothing feels better than climbing into the car and not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
To his credit, like you said, could have been those other drugs I did back in the day.
It could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said I was sober the one day of my life. Now, as I understand certain drugs, just because you did not do those drugs that day does not mean you were off of the drugs that you had done, say, the night before.
Correct.
I've had personal experience of that myself. Like, oh, my God, I cannot believe I'm still high on this.
Yeah, I've eaten an edible before.
Man.
You wake up the next day, it's like, I'm still really stoned.
There were those edibles someone brought in a couple years ago. Robin was here, and I did not, it was a brownie.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember the milligrams, and I didn't bother to ask. I ate the brownie. We're doing
it was
weed
100 per brownie.
I didn't know, so I ate the thing.
I told everybody that would listen.
And Robin was like, what'd you do with the brownie? So I'm like, I ate it, man, and I'm up for weed week. And she just said, are you okay? I said, why are you asking? She goes, man, it was supposed to be cut into 4ths. So I'm like, oh, no, man. And I have not been that high for that long in my life. When I woke up the next morning, I'm still giggling. I'm laughing. My wife's like, Jesus Christ, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, babe, there's nothing I can do. I just have to ride this out.
Yeah.
It was from the same guy that made the one, like, the first time that I took part in Weed Week, when I had my freak out on the screener studio. It was the same one. Only I ate a little chunk, and that stuff freaked me the hell out. I don't know how the hell you did 100, dude. I mean, it blew my mind.
There's just nothing you can do. Like, I'm just going to be high. And I mean, like, you are so... As we're saying with this guy standing the knife, like, yeah, maybe you didn't do anything that day, but if it's anything like that, like, I'm still super high. And then it got to the point where being high wasn't even fun anymore.
Right.
Like, I want to stop being high.
I also believe that you might have done that as far as, like, a little rebellion, too.
Man, I didn't know. I just ate the brownie because it was sitting on the desk. Robin's like, dude, that was not. I'm like, uh-oh.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Robert. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, man. So here's my story. I was broke and homeless, living in a hostel. Well, pretty much working for my stay at a hostel in Hawaii. Reading a newspaper one day, I see there's a casting call for Pirates of the Caribbean. No money. I show up. I got long hair. The lady writes something on the back of my card. I get a call like 3 weeks later. Next thing you know, I'm floating around a pirate ship off the coast of Hawaii for like a month and a half.
And what is this, like for tourists and stuff like that?
No, the movie.
No, it was they were filming the movie.
Oh, so you're like an extra. So, you know, one of the benefits of being homeless is, and I've been homeless myself, the closest, I probably looked more like a Somali pirate, but if someone needs a cast for something like that, like, no one is going to pull it off better than a homeless person. Your hair's greasy, you look like crap, you haven't shaved, you have the stink, you probably smell like urine, like, everything they think they want, like, I got this. So did that help get you out of your homeless situation?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I was there for my kids pretty much, but I mean, that was my only dabble into any kind of acting, but I just couldn't believe they actually called me back, you know.
Did you get any screen time?
Oh, yeah. I got like 4 or 5 different scenes you can find me in.
Okay. And what do they have you do? Like when they say action, you're in the background, there's probably some activity. Are you lifting a barrel over your head? Are you climbing a net? Like, what are we looking for?
Yeah, pretty much. Just walking around in the background, you know, standing there looking dumb.
Did you dress like a pirate?
Yeah, pretty much, man. My audition was pretty sweet. The lady freaked out. Was like, how'd you learn how to talk like that? I was like, I read books.
But talk like what? Like the stereotype pirate?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, as far as we know,
exactly. They had me talk. I was like, I didn't know this was that kind of audition, but I had to do this whole spiel, and it was crazy. The lady gave me a standing ovation. It was nuts.
So, did you have any idea, even what the movie was about, or was it literally you just saw casting call pirate? Hey, I look like a pirate. Let me give it a shot.
Actually, the craziest thing is me and my little cousin, we watched all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies up to that point. Like, we go to the theater and watch them. And then I called her after they cast me, it called me, and she freaked the heck out.
Did you smell Johnny Depp?
It was a pretty cool deal.
Could you smell Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp and Ian McShane.
Which one seemed cooler?
Johnny Depp was nicer. Ian McShane, badass.
Yeah, he strikes me as a guy where there's not a lot of acting.
So where did you sleep? Did you sleep on the ship?
No, I was living in a hostel working for my bed, you know.
Okay.
Kind of working the front desk.
Man, and how long were the shoot days? Are they like 13, 15 hours long?
Oh, man, one day we were out there for like 21 hours.
And how much time were you actually, quote-unquote, acting? And the 21 hours you're out there, I'm guessing maybe 15 minutes?
Yeah, man. I mean, I probably put on like 40 pounds.
I was going to say, now the actual pirate ship.
Just chilling, eating.
Now,
yeah, on the outside it was a pirate ship. You go inside, it's all motors and computers and stuff.
Okay, so basically it was just to look like a pirate ship.
Yeah,
so you they fed you on that thing and everything else. So underneath was...
oh, yeah.
All right.
How great is catering when you're homeless?
If you want a sandwich, they make you pretty much whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, it's catering on a movie set.
Yeah, man. I'm saying if you're homeless,
That's awesome.
That's a better perk than anyone could imagine. Like, wait a minute. I can eat any of these things you have set up on this table. Like, yes, you can do that. And it's free. It costs me nothing. Go ahead, eat up. I would eat like a freaking
Well,
king.
I would think you would lose weight just based on what you'd have to wear. You're wearing all these big, heavy, older clothes. Typically Hawaii's 88 degrees.
I mean, you might. I think in his case, though, like he was homeless. So
He's putting on weight because he's going to catering.
He's eating food.
I bet you everyone else is probably dropping pounds. I bet you my man's like, yeah, you don't understand. I don't eat on the regular.
Right, exactly. Like his body, think about it, right? Even if you just did, I don't know, let's say you did a 4-day fast.
Yeah.
Just water. You're going to drop some pounds.
You absolutely will.
But you probably put a couple back on just when you eat a meal.
Real quick. Real quick.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Norm. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, amigos.
Hola.
So back in the day when I was a young man, I was barely 19, right out of high school, living in my first apartment with my friends. I go to a place one night, San Antonio, called Players Retreat. Bands played there. I went just to go check out a band, and I'm standing next to this just fine-looking girl, and she starts chatting me up. I'm like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. So one thing leads to another, and, she says, well, I asked her for a phone number, and she said, well, give me yours. So the next day, so this is like Friday night. So next day, Saturday morning, she calls me, hey, are you doing anything? I'm like, no, come on over. She comes on over and just makes my knees as weak as they could be. I mean, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So as we're finishing up and getting dressed and stuff, I had a big walk-in closet, and I had my drum set in. I had a big red double bass pistolite set of drums in it. She's like, oh, you're a drummer, huh? And I go, yeah, I play. And she goes, oh, my roommate just loves drummers. Oh, that's cool. So she left, and the next day, so now this is Sunday, about 10 in the morning, and I'm just barely awake. I hear knocking on the door, and I looked at a peephole, and there's this girl that looks like, what's the girl's name from Rocky that had the spiky hair with the Russian guy? Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah.
Looks like her wearing short leather mini skirt. And I'm like, what is this? So I open the door, and she says, are you Norm? I said, yeah. She says, well, my friend told me you had some drums. I just love drums. I took her up to my bedroom, and all she wanted to do was anything you could think of as long as it was on my drums. And it's just, yeah.
You lucked out with the weirdest fetish, and it works in your favor.
Man, I was one happy dude, I got to tell you.
Did you drop the B from your bass drum? Just call it the ass drum after that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hell yeah, man.
Didn't you have to play in a band?
Never had. I just want to have sex on your bass case. Okay.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
yada yada.
And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Top Class Actions alert. In a groundbreaking move for the payment industry, Visa and MasterCard have come to a historic $5.6 billion settlement. Top Class Actions is connecting business owners who accepted Visa or MasterCard from January 1st, 2004 to January 25th, 2019 to their share of this $5.6 billion settlement. Claim your share today at topclassactions.com/Visa. That's topclassactions.com/Visa.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Taryn Daly, Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show on the way. We will sit and spin, and today we get a little appropriate with 10 rock song lyrics. that did not age well. That's on the way after emails from our question, what can you not believe happened to you or to someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, John. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hola.
Hey, quick question. You can hear me all right, right?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, fantastic. What happened to me was a couple years ago, 2019. It was at Midsummer Renaissance Fair. And just one fact, the theme of that fair was good versus evil. So it's like right before 2020 election. And so for like 20 years, I've studied philosophy and martial arts. So they had like nights going on, and I, go out and try and interact and educate our culture for 20 years of philosophy student. So I go to this thing. One more thing I want to mention, because you've had a couple callers that kind of hit on this experience that I had. There's a good book you guys should check out. It's called Shielded, How Police Became Untouchable.
All right.
So I go to this Renaissance Fair. I had like 2 beers over 5 hours. And I don't know, I got there like 1:30, about 4 o'clock, or no, it was like 6 o'clock that jousting and nights and everything ended. And I'm hanging out, like talking to people and standing there. And I stretch. I got attacked by activists. I stretched and looked around everywhere and saw this guy and this girl. They just happened to enter my visual field. And not a minute or two later, that guy comes up to me and tells me that I was making the girl uncomfortable. Now, I was wearing a shirt that had like gun rights on it, had like a gun on the back. So I figured it was just about this shirt and the fact that I'm a white guy. And then I go, okay, well, I'm just standing here. And he goes, well, I'm just letting you know. And okay. And I'm just standing here, just letting you know. Okay, well, so I got out of there and I went and started talking to the Knights because they're all done doing their thing. Like, how did they get into this and everything? And then I went down to the other side of the fair to go to another bar because that's what I was told to do, to get a campsite there. And 5 minutes later, one of the security guards comes up to me. He's got a gun on his hip. He was super pissed, like red-faced, fuming pissed. And he said, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And I was like, okay. So I just started walking out. And he's like super, like red-faced pissed as we're walking out. I was like, dude, there's no reason to be so pissed. Like, I didn't threaten anybody. I didn't make a bomb threat. And then he radioed the police. And the police immediately showed up and jumped on top of me. They didn't ask anybody questions. They didn't do an investigation. They just immediately threw me to the ground, slamming my face into the ground. I thought my arm was going to break because he's like laying on one of my arms trying to cuff me, and he can't cuff because he's like got my shoulder in a weird position, so like my elbow went in. So I like rotated into him so he could cuff me, and got the crap beat out of me. Got accused of making a bomb threat, which had not guilty on, but they accused me of resisting arrest. And then the prosecutor at my trial, his argument why I was guilty was because I have triceps. So I'm guilty of every other crime too because I'm an independent mind. Just food for thought. Everybody thinks that these are authorities, but basic English are not. Authority means author. I'm the author of my life. That's not your fault. And all these people just lie, and they're activists and they're bigots, and you have real world, results. Like I said, shielded. Why the police were untouchable. And then my attorneys just lied and gaslit all the time. There was tons of witnesses, but they wouldn't question witnesses. One witness and the one cop showed up. I had expert witnesses that were willing to testify that the police didn't have probable cause. I had phone records of the phone they claimed made the phone 911 call. They didn't present 911 call at trial, and my attorney wouldn't present the phone records, which demonstrably proved that the phone number they claimed made the 911 call didn't make any calls for like 4 hour span, and it was all communicated over radio and non-official means. And there's nothing I can do in law to get at my corrupt attorneys. I was told by the ethics board that I had to have an attorney to file an ethics complaint. I fired 3 attorneys because I went through 2,000 years of intellectual thought explaining why the lesson that was trying to be taught to me is that I'm not an author of my life, and why that is completely and absolutely false on natural law. Yeah.
Where were you at again?
The Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival.
Fair.
Okay.
Midsummer Renaissance Fair. Good versus evil. Kind of ironic.
All right, man, same thing happened to me, and in the end, the only charge they had was resisting arrest, right? Which the judge was like, this is ridiculous. I said, yes, because it'll happen again if there's no other charge, right? That's the whole thing. But I still had to pay to get it expunged. It was an additional $500 to get it expunged from my record, because you don't want an arrest on your record, right? It was never expunged. It's a term they use, but if they want to know a little bit later in life, they're like, no, dude, it's on your record right here. I'm like, well, I thought I got it paid to be expunged. They're like, you did pay for it to be expunged. We're just letting you know that it's still available for everyone to see. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. I'm just amazed things got profiled for being white at a Renaissance fair.
I was exactly when he first said that, I'm like,
I don't want to stereotype, but
you're at a Renaissance festival and you're white. Like, that's, you know, man, look, I'm not white, but I would feel like that might be a safe place. The cops are chasing you, like, run to the Renaissance Festival, Ted. You know what I mean? Go to the pickup basketball game of the Renaissance Festival to try to blend in. That's just my guess. I don't know.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Just for the record, whenever talking to a lawyer, a cop, anybody, you start talking about 2,000 years of knowledge and this and that.
They've already stopped listening.
Yeah. It kind of loses the, like, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying, like, at that point,
tune it out.
Yeah, people go, what are you talking about?
Right, like, we're just talking about this thing right here. This
Correct.
moment right now. And look, once you get upset, you pull everything from the ether, right? And you throw it all out there. And it's like, okay, when you're done, we need to get back to the situation at hand. That's all. That's all it is.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Michelle. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
So a little bit of this backstory is semi-sad, but it'll make sense. So my mom happens to be from England, and she committed suicide. This matters because it caused issues, obviously, between my dad and my granddad. And I lost contact with him. You know, it just happened when I was a kid. You don't realize you should keep these things. And years later, I am contacted by an attorney, and my granddad left me an inheritance. And I'm dating this guy. I live in Nebraska at the time. And through this inheritance, we decide that we're going to go buy a marina and, you know, do the small town pool thing, right? Well,
wait, how much was this? How much was this inheritance?
I got $10,000.
Okay. All right.
And I booked a hotel room so we could stay in McCook for the weekend to go find a house to live in, because we're going about 3 hours from where we lived. And the relationship was kind of rocky. Like, I'm going through his phone, he's going through my phone, you know. Maybe there was a little alcohol on both ends at the time. And this is 2 days before we're supposed to go to McCook. And he's drunk, passed out, and his phone goes off. It's 3 a.m., and I see the phone blink. And there's a Craigslist message in his email from some man. Also, what's going on at the time is his parents are snowbirds, and we're house sitting for his parents. So I read the email, and he's trying to sleep with other men behind my back.
Would it have been better if he said, hey, can I bring a dude? Would you have been down if he said, I want to bring a guy into the bedroom?
What happened 2 weeks before this is we had a conversation. I go, well, what if I want a girlfriend? He goes, what if I want a boyfriend? I go, what if you do? And the conversation never went anywhere. So I had actually said, I'd opened the door. I'd been like, you want to have this conversation? I'm more than willing to have this conversation with you. And he completely went behind my back. And, I mean, there were multiple messages. I still don't know if it happened. But he was trying to meet people at his parents' house. I mean, he was talking to at least 6 men.
Then it probably happened.
Yes.
In 6 months, unless you dated the ugliest man ever.
I mean, he wasn't a bad-looking dude. I was just more shocked that, like, why would you lie? I gave you an out before you even did this, just to be like, what if you did?
So I guess you didn't. I guess you didn't go on your holiday weekend then, right?
We did not. I had a friend pick me up, and I was literally, like, so stressed. I puked for the next 3 days.
That is fun.
I almost went to Texas after this, stayed in Kansas for a little bit with my best friend, and that kind of eventually led me to be in Washington now.
I think, too, he might just... look, I'm not defending it, right? But
I know where you're going.
I'm assuming part of that, too, is he's not comfortable telling people he wants to have sex with other men.
I mean, I was like, what if I want a girlfriend? You know, he's like, what if I want a boyfriend? I'm like, what if you do? Like, let's talk about this. Like, it was on the table.
But if he's not comfortable telling you, then he's certainly not comfortable telling other people.
Obviously, he wasn't, or obviously he would have went on Craigslist trying to do it. And not only that, like, it's your
That's a
parents'
good point.
house. You were going to sleep with men in your parents' house.
Hey, I slept with some ladies in my parents' house when I still lived with them, because that's the house I had available to me.
We've all done some stuff like that, but it's like, come on, man. Like, that was in double poor taste. Like, you were trying to do it behind my back and at your parents' house. Like, come on, at least.
Don't worry about his parents. Don't worry about his parents.
Yeah.
Just worry about
well,
you.
I mean, look, if you're trying to have sex secretly where you're reaching out to Craigslist to find partners, like, it's not going to matter whose house it is.
Right.
No.
It could be anywhere. I'm curious to know, you said this happened in Nebraska, then you stayed in Kansas, then you thought about moving to Texas, and as you put it, that's what brought me to Washington. What is it between Nebraska, Kansas, and Texas, where I could see how if you like one, you might like the other? How did Washington figure into that?
So I'm in Kansas, and all my family's from here. Like, my dad was born in Nampa, Idaho. My cousin Lisa came to stay with me for a couple of days. She was actually moving back up here, and she had a bad breakup in Oklahoma. And she said, hey, can I come stay at the house for a couple of days? I'm like, of course you can. You know, that's no problem. I'd love to see you. And we're having drinks on Sunday Funday. And she's like, why don't you just move up there with me, or just come visit for 2 weeks, and I'll come drive you back. And I worked for a mom and pop restaurant, and I could not just leave for 2 weeks like that. So I said, well, could I just move up there with you? And I called a friend who I knew needed a place. I had her take over my lease. We did this Monday morning. I worked a half a shift at work, told my boss, who is from Beirut, Lebanon, by the way. And at first she tried to say, you can't just pack up your life and move across the country. And I looked at her like, you're going to tell me I can't just pack up my life and move.
You're from Lebanon.
Yeah. You moved halfway around the world.
Right. You moved from one side to the other.
What could you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
By the way, that's a good friend. If I say, hey, Ted, man, why don't you come with me for 2 weeks? We're going to go to Miami. And you say, can I move with you? Like, boy, it's a big ass, Ted.
I
just said, hey, I'll take you back. I'm just saying, did you want to visit for a little while, clear your head? And
what did she say, Kansas and what else, Texas?
Started in Nebraska. I was in Nebraska when this went down. Went to Kansas to stay with a friend for a little bit. Debated moving to Texas, but as she put it, and that's why I ended up in Washington. And like for me, I'm just not seeing how these all line up.
I'm still just thinking about the dude. That makes a lot more sense.
In Nebraska? Yeah.
Yeah, again, I am not defending his actions at all. I'm just saying, like, I just think that guy's pretty scared.
If he were in Seattle, he'd be like, I'm going to the bar on Capitol Hill. And
correct.
Nobody cares.
I was on a plane once with a guy. I've told this story. The magazine he was reading they weren't naked, but the guys were all shredded, and it was a little suggestive, some of the poses. So finally I just said, is that like a fashion, like a muscle magazine or something? And he's like, well, no. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, well, it's a gay magazine. And I was like, all right. So you know me. We start chatting, and long story longer, he had been married and this and that. And he was like, yeah, one day I just left the gay porn up so she would find it. He was like, I just didn't have
really? That's the way.
He was like, I didn't have the strength to tell her.
Huh.
So, like, with that guy, I'm like, yeah, he was behind your back, but he's probably hiding from a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What can you not believe happened to you or someone that you know? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Bill. Welcome to the men's room.
Good afternoon, men.
Hola.
Hey, so I was in the Air Force, and Ken worked in the same shop as a different ship. So I knew him, but I didn't know him real well. One day he comes to my room in the barracks, and he says, hey, my car's broke down. Can you give me a ride to the pet store?
Hey, man, what's going on with your phone? You're kind of getting loud, and then it gets kind of quiet, and then it comes back in loud.
Oh, okay, I'm moving around. I'll stand still. How's that?
Okay, better.
We'll see. All right. So he says he wants to go to the pet store, and I think, well, pets aren't allowed in the barracks. So I said, what do you need to go to the pet store for? He says, I need to, I have Christine, my pet 8.5-foot Burmese python in my room, and I need to get her a guinea pig because she hasn't eaten in a month. So I said, let me get my keys. And we go to the pet store, and we get the guinea pig, put it in a cardboard box, go back to the barracks. So I'm just picturing, Animal Kingdom, some good excitement coming up here. We get up to his room. He opens up his wall locker where he keeps Christine when he's not in the room. And this 8.5-foot Burmese python comes slithering out of the wall locker. And I couldn't believe it. We opened up the box, and guinea pig gets out. Instantly knows it's in danger. It starts underneath the bed, which is in the corner of the room. So he runs all the way underneath the bed, back in the corner of the room. And Christine slithers over there, not even halfway underneath the bed, and just stops. It's just not the mission I'm hoping for. But after a few minutes of no action, Ken says, "Hey, why don't you get on the bed and stick your hand down in the corner there and try and flush the guinea pig out, and I'll get on the floor next to Christine. I'll try and push her towards the guinea pig." And I'm like, all right, smart. So I get up there, and my hand down in the corner underneath the bed trying to flush out the guinea pig, and then I hear, "Oh, ouch. No, Christine." I turn around, see what's going on, and Ken is sitting up. Christine has bit him in the face and won't let go.
So the snake is still attached to his face when you turn around?
It's still attached to his face. And so he's he's using his hands and trying to gently pull her jaws apart and get her off. Nothing's happening. She's still stuck on there. Ken's like, "Hey, I got a toolbox over there. See if you can find something to pry her jaws apart." So I open up the toolbox, and it's like a cold chisel and a screwdriver.
Hey, Bill, we got to do something with your phone, man. I mean, this is
we can't understand you, man.
Get a new phone, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we cannot hear what you're saying. We could figure it out, but a lot of the listeners are like, we don't know what he's saying.
I was about to say, like, it sounded like a good story, but you got to hang up on it.
Long story short, this is as far as we got before we had to let him go. His buddy had a pet python. For reasons we don't need to get into, the pet python bit his buddy in the face, but by the time he turned around to see his buddy being attacked, the snake was still stuck to his face, and they had to get actual tools to pry the jaws of the python off of his buddy's face.
10 rock song lyrics that did not age well. Coming up with Sit and Spin, and we get your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
yada yada.
And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
McDonald's is transforming into the anime world of WickDonald's. Get new savory chili WickDonald's sauce with your Wick Nuggets meal. New anime shorts weekly and manga comics unlocked from your order. Only at WickDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, go!
Participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Introducing the two-way V4, where groundbreaking fuel cell technology meets fresh foam cushioning for the ultimate performance. With Fuel Cell, each step feels explosive, delivering unparalleled energy return. Paired with fresh foam, experience maximum comfort throughout the game. Its lightweight textile upper offers support and breathability without sacrificing agility. Whether you're hitting the clutch shot or locking down the opposition, the two-way V4 gives you the tools to play at a high level. Learn more and purchase the two-way for yourself at newbalance.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show on the way. We will sit and spin. We've got the 10 rock song lyrics that did not age well. But first, time for the secret word for Pearl Jam tickets.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
You want to text this word to 206-803-ROCK. The secret word is flow. Flow, as in a heavy or light flow. F-L-O-W. Text flow to 206-803-ROCK now. Okay, do we have time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com?
You've got
Birthdays we go, guys. It's my son Jeffrey's 20th birthday today. He would really like if y'all would tell him happy birthday. Long-time listener. He would love to have 2 fish sandwiches of the original variety and the Dirty German saying a happy 20th birthday. Lots of love that from Mom, Dad, brothers, and all of the family. Thanks, guys.
You already get a fish sandwich?
Can I buy you a fish sandwich?
Yeah, what did you want to just to say happy 20th birthday?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, happy 20th birthday. Look, enjoy it. We know somehow you'll still sneak alcohol in, even though it's a year before you're supposed to. But in Deutschland, we can drink at an early age. And when you get drunk, you get experimental in the bedroom.
Yeah, so, well, you know, it's his son's birthday, and he's 20. Sure, he can go someplace and find some entertainment without the alcohol now. Especially on, early in the week. So all-star staff will be working.
For Charles, today, this day is my amazing, thoughtful, and smoking hot girlfriend Megan's birthday. I went through a rough second half of 2023, and 2024 hasn't started out that much better. But through it all, she's been there for me with unwavering love and support that I promise to never stop appreciating nor ever take for granted. And she is a bit of a DIYer. So I would very much appreciate the Dirty Germans discussing various home improvement tips for keeping the back door properly maintained to allow for the back door to work there. Happy birthday, Megan. I love you. That from Corey in Tacoma.
Yeah, this is simple. Benoit balls.
See, that's the other thing I would say is WG-40. Jesus. All right, it's a door. It's got hinges.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you. Well, a couple extra emails here. What inspired me, guys? The movie Airplane, of all movies, inspired me to get my private pilot's license.
Airplane.
All right. I am now certified to fly the following aircraft: a Beechcraft King Air, a Dassault Falcon 50, Learjet 24, and the vintage 737-200. I do not fly for a company, just fly as a hobby. Cheers, bitches, and have a good one. That from Alex the Furry.
That is very cool. I just never would have guessed the Airplane, the movie, is what inspired you to be a pilot.
Yeah, they're not really good pilots.
Right, the screenplay, right, any of that, like, a pilot, okay.
It's like Police Academy, maybe want to be a cop.
Right, exactly.
So I can make all the funny noises. Work scandal. Guys, had a coworker take paid time off after his girlfriend had passed on. His girlfriend did not know any of this and continued to make posts on Facebook after her supposed death. He then said his uncle was dying and wanted paid time off for that. HR was made aware of the Facebook posts. He was fired after a PI verified the fraud.
I like how he said that. His deceased girlfriend, did not realize she was dead and kept posting.
Yes. Miles.
I was thinking, was he just trying to get out of work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. But, but again, if they keep posting, that's a problem.
It's also why people generally would go with a distant relative.
Always, man.
You can't say your girlfriend died. Like, she lives in the area.
You go with an aunt that doesn't exist that lives in a different state.
Mm-hmm. I had a teacher once call me out on that. And I said, no, it's like an uncle, but like, I'm not positive.
Right.
However, and he was like, I think you just don't want to take this test. And I told him how he died, and he goes, oh, my God, I know that guy. I'll see you there.
Oh, really?
It was a very specific, odd way to kill yourself.
Oh, Jesus. What I was told, well, good the whole thing, but I was at my biology teacher in 10th grade. Baby, how many grandparents do you have? Like, as many as I need. I guess I'd use the excuse multiple times on her, and she's like, baby, how many grandparents do you have? I was like, many as I need? She's like, okay.
I always go back and forth with that stuff, too, even if it just seems like a simple lie. Like, I can't go out as the dog's sick. I guarantee you, like, 2 days later, that dog's going to get sick.
Mm-hmm. So I pick people I don't like.
Oh, this one is Miles, a pee sharing story. Listening on the Odyssey app, catching up on some previous podcasts. I believe this was about the fact we were talking. I was saying before COVID, if I went number one, I did not always wash my hands.
Oh, right.
I admitted that because I don't touch myself when I go to the bathroom. I just pull down my pants, go to the bathroom. So says Ola Bacholas, after listening to Miles talk about how he does not hold the peace while taking a leak, I thought I would give this whole hands-free thing a try. I never attempted to do this as a grown man, and I've always given it the one-handed approach. Well, I gave this a shot about 20 minutes ago while here at work. Let's just say it did not go as planned. I started off holding my junk as usual, and the second that I let go, it was like letting go of a garden hose at max flow. Pee was spraying all over the place, the walls, the floor, the toilet, and even managed to hit my pants. I tried to reach down to grab it, to redirect the aim back to the bowl, but the damage already done. The fact I have been taking excessive amounts of electrolytes lately, it looked like a bright yellow mess all over the restroom. Quite the mess to clean up. Either it was just a fluke or perhaps I am not using the same materials that Miles is, but I definitely won't be trying that again. Thanks for giving us a laugh. You guys are awesome, and keep us laughing every day. That from Jay from Puyallup. And let's do one more email here. Let's see. What do we got? Bug stories. Guys, picture this 2005 wildfire season and running chainsaws on a hotshot crew in Colorado. Well, I ran my saw bar in full fire mode as we cut line, only to find out I'd cut straight through a log containing a hornet's nest. Before me and my swamper could get out of there, I was stung about 25 times and evacuated via helicopter to a local clinic. I'll never forget what the hot nurse said when she walked into my hospital room. Well, darn, I miss getting to watch them take your clothes off. Rural Colorado, guys. That's a lot of fun. That from Jay Bird in Astoria, Oregon.
Yes. Hang on. Yes.
We got you. We got you, dog.
I know.
We got you. No one even knows
Astoria is a lovely
Guys, you ready to
town.
go? Okay, let's do it.
Yes, friends, it's time once again for Sit and Spin. Let's gather around the old radio and listen to some swellerific new music.
Oh, look who it is. Taryn Daly, Steve Miggs. How was your Two Alkies 3-day weekend?
Oh, man. There was so much going on. Well, for one, I got to burn Ted's Christmas tree in my yard this weekend. That was fun.
Yeah, it took a while to go up. It was a good tree.
It hadn't dried out quite long enough for it to be like a tinderbox.
Okay.
But we did light it up.
The look on Miles' face right now is how I'm feeling inside, too. Like, what?
Yeah,
you guys don't
you had a Christmas tree until middle of February?
Correct.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, I was like, it's amazing it didn't burn your place down.
Well, it was outside, but you got to save it so you can burn it and have some fun.
And it was undercover, so it wasn't getting rained on a whole bunch, you know?
There was a dead bird in it.
Now, what do you guys do?
Did you burn the bird?
No, when we went to move the tree from my little balcony, this dead bird fell out. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So I got a bag and put it in there. But I think that cat that's always hanging out there, I think he killed it and stashed it in there for me.
Yeah. Now he's looking for his bird.
Yeah, he seemed pissed on Sunday. Sunday he was just staring at me. And I'm like,
it's like, where after my bird, buddy?
Yeah, like I had a little thing going.
Well, I guess my weekend wasn't that wild then.
It's great times.
Much
great
better
times.
time. Okay, speaking of inappropriate behavior, Today, we go back in time. We have some rock song lyrics that did not age well. And there were so many of these growing up. I think about songs that I liked. Christine, 16.
Yeah, Kiss.
From Kiss.
But I wasn't 16 years old yet, so it's always been
no
okay
big
to
deal.
me. Right? I'm like 12 years old. He's like, when I saw you coming out of school that day. It's a grown man talking about a 16-year-old girl watching her walk out of school.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm like, oh, I get it. Now I'm like, Gene, you're an effing weirdo, man.
Do you think when they hit like 60, 70 years old, he's like, we should just strike that one from the
Gene
set list?
Simmons? No.
Yeah.
No. That's what I meant when I said.
Oh, my God. I remember there was a time when Every Breath You Take from the Police was the number one song for it seemed like a year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my favorite Police song. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's a song about stalking people.
100%.
I'll be watching you. And that's the whole message.
He's pretty clear about
the entire song.
I'll be watching you.
Every move you make. Oh, God. Like, if someone even just wrote that down and mailed it to me, I'd be like, oh, man, I'm in trouble.
You know what comes in the next envelope? Hair.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. Yeah. Ryan Castle, by the way, was mailed hair.
What? Sorry, say that
Years
again?
ago, he was mailed hair. He got
He
a box.
was mailed hair?
That is correct.
It freaked him out. So this is like massive social media. So people still contacted you through an envelope, and he's like, "Man, I opened it up, and it was hair."
That might be my last day on the job. I'd be like, you know what? No, this isn't cut. No, I'm not cut for this.
What, are you sure he wasn't just shaming him for being a bald man?
He wasn't bald yet.
Oh,
They knew he would be.
They knew he would be.
foreshadowing.
Yes. So why is hair the grossest? Or the weirdest? Like you could send a human tooth to go, man, that's gross.
What if I sent you my fingernails?
That was what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
that's just gross. Somehow your hair, I'm like,
what about my belly button lint?
Just gross.
Or like the sock lint between your toes.
Yeah, sure.
There's people that are into dirty drawers.
That's true. That's true.
So today on Sit and Spin, we have rock song lyrics that, for whatever reason, over time, have not aged well.
For whatever reason,
yes.
Number 10.
Different reasons.
Oh, Winger! It's mine! I was worried they were going to be mostly this.
Yeah.
This should be number one.
Yeah.
Look, he said 17. Yeah. Gene Simmons said 16. So no matter what, Kip Winger's like, get mad at me, dude. At least I waited a year.
But Kip Winger said, Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me.
I'll tell you what. What's the Motley Crue song, Mike, that we, I can't think of what it is. We knew the song. You just never paid attention to the lyrics, and we read, and it opens with something
Was it
like,
all in the name of rock or something?
I think it, like she's 15, but we're like, oh my God, man.
It's one of the songs on their first record, I think.
Yeah, like, guys, this is not a contest.
Do you guys remember Bryan Adams and his song Heaven? It was a big slow ballad back in the day. Me and my friends would walk around and sing, finding it hard to believe you're 11. Right. And we knew that was very inappropriate.
Good thing Gene didn't hear those lyrics.
I think we were 13 years old at the time. So either way. These are 10 rock song lyrics that didn't age well on Sit and Spin.
Number 9. You're one in a million.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't age well. It didn't start well. No.
It was more acceptable.
I'm glad the white people were like, this is kind of bad. All the black people were like, hey, no, man.
Mike, did you
what is this song about?
Mike, did you get to the lyric part in this that was inappropriate?
Yeah, I had to edit a couple things out of here, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Oh, he drops the F-bomb in there as well. As far as a gay slur, he drops the N-bomb. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy enough that Axl wrote that. It's also crazy that the other 4 members are like, it sounds good to me.
How about Slash?
Right.
Hey, dude, my mom's black. I mean, I'm throwing it out there.
What song is this?
It's called One in a Million.
1 in a Million.
It's a good song, but he just drops police and N-bombs. Get out of my... What?
They had an EP called Lies back in the day.
And also, I used to love her, but I had to kill her.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that about a dog or something?
That's offensive to dogs.
Good point. Good point. These are 10 rock song lyrics that did not age well.
Number 8.
You'll never know, funky mother. For all the people that F mothers, this is offensive.
Okay.
It mentions cassette tapes and CDs. So they're saying, wow, this is very outdated.
So it just didn't age well.
Didn't age well, yeah.
So it's not M-bombs.
Because the kids these days are like, what's a cassette? What's a CD?
I just read today that cassettes are making a comeback. Now, that said, I read the same thing a year and a half ago and 2 years before that. I don't think they are. I think someone who owns lots of cassettes wants them to come back.
You know who it is? It's Kevin Deers, who hosts Metal Shop and Loud and Local. He has a bonkers collection of cassettes.
He and my wife, they should get together and just have their own radio station called
Swap.
All on Cassette.
That makes sense, strangely.
Oh, yeah.
These are 10 Rock Song lyrics that did not age well on Sit and Spin.
Number 7.
Before the Kiss, a red cap from Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay.
And apparently it didn't age well because in the song they reference that gas is 35 cents a gallon.
Oh. Were they bitching about that?
I think so.
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
I paid 35 quick cents. Since you damn gasoline.
We've gone from underage girls, racist lyrics, to now gas being too cheap.
But these are getting higher.
Yes.
Don't worry about the N-bombs and the underage stuff. It's gas prices and cassette tapes.
Well, back then they checked your oil, you know. And
that's true.
Cleaned your windshield.
Gotta check your oil.
This is 10 Rock Song lyrics that did not age well.
Number 6.
Dime.
Jukebox.
Well, the original is by the Arrows.
Okay,
that's true. That is very true.
You guys have been to the bars that have the jukeboxes that you have an app on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, touch tunes, baby.
So how much are those? So how much is it too?
Well, the best part is if you really want your song to be next, you can pay more.
I know that's what I'm saying.
I do that when I get just drunk enough. I'm like, take all my money. Let's hear that Rush song.
All right, Mom was next.
and you heard a lot of songs Friday.
And of course,
one too many.
Yeah. And you pick Working Man because it's 9 minutes long.
7 minutes and 2 seconds.
These are 10 Rock Song lyrics that did not age well.
Number 5.
Because Vince Neil now looks like just a fat man. He wrote the song about Vince Neil, so it didn't age well because Vince didn't. Now he's a big, fat, rib-eating, like Larry the Cable Guy with a shaved face.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I can think, dude. He looked like a chick.
Oh, God.
I mean, is it just a dude looks like a lady? Yeah. Have you looked at the back cover of Theater of Pain? Tell me he's wrong. And again, Vince does not look like a lady anymore, but he does.
There's a lot of makeup and leotards.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have heard the Vince Neil misunderstood lyrics.
Kickstart my heart.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
10 Rock Song lyrics that did not age well.
Number 4. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you
Boy, they make it happy, don't they?
and that's the end, little girl.
What's going on?
If they just didn't have that last little girl.
Little girl.
Candy. Golly. All right, Beatles. They couldn't have had all hits. The Beatles.
It is the Beatles, yeah.
Oh, so it was okay.
The young Beatles.
I'm just saying, like, it's obviously the
Did they
Beatles.
have a song about like a 16-year-old as well?
You're 16. Ringo started. His first number one hit, you're 16, you're beautiful in your mind.
Yeah.
Which, yes, that is not appropriate.
Jesus.
Yeah,
And your mind.
And your mind. That went to number 1.
Ringo, we need a hit song. I got this one about a high school girl.
Okay.
Ringo, you've been talking about it for years. Just do it.
Right. 10 Rock Song lyrics that did not age well.
Number 3.
This is REM.
It's called Star 69 or Star 69 because that used to be the...
Oh, call him back.
Call him back.
Yeah. I thought it's
So
what
you
you
can't do
see
that.
in that position.
Can you, I mean, if you had a landline, can you still, Star 69 still work?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I will never look at Michael's Stipe the same way. Thanks, Thrill.
Oh, it had nothing to do with the phone. It's just what I saw when we did that.
Oh, God.
10 Rock Song lyrics that didn't age well.
Number 2.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get back together, come back and see me. 3 days to living room.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Apparently, it's outdated because it references Leanne Rimes, The X-Files, and Harrison Ford.
But isn't that
And
the
those,
problem?
those are aging us.
If you write any song where you name check, right, within 10 years, it's going to sound old. You can name check Taylor Swift right now. 10 years from now, they're like, Taylor freaking Swift.
I mean, you see it with athletes all the time. Like rappers will always name check them, but you're right. Some of them aren't gonna. It's not gonna last.
Yeah. And it depends how their career ended.
Yeah,
These
nice
are
little timestamp.
10 Rock Song lyrics that did not age well.
Number 1.
This makes me think MTV, baby.
Yeah. And they used to play the full uncensored version.
7 minutes.
Makes me want to drink a Coors Light and flick a cigarette.
It's slow-mo.
Well, Dire Straits.
Yes. What did they do?
Well, it's got a little bit of a homophobic slur in there.
Oh.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They were saying how other people responded to them. So, like, if they walked into somewhere, that other people looked at them and said, look at these gay slurs that start with an F.
Yeah.
English cigarettes.
It used to be the favorite word of New Jersey when you were growing up.
I think some radio stations still play the original version, not around here, but in other parts of the country.
I could see probably New Jersey, where that's like your kid's pet name.
Still the top requested song.
You freaking little. Thank you guys so much. You guys have more Pearl Jam tickets tomorrow morning?
What do we have tomorrow? Or
Pearl Jam's all week.
The code word. Oh my God, I forgot.
It's all week, Terry.
We have Pearl Jam tickets. We just gave ours away.
People are excited.
Kevin's got them later on.
Yeah, May 28th is the date.
It's crazy. All right, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Sorry.
Yeah, more drinking coming up just like your weekend. The shot of the day is on the way. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
McDonald's is transforming into the anime world of WickDonald's. Get new savory chili WickDonald's sauce with your Wick Nuggets meal. New anime shorts weekly and manga comics unlocked from your order. Only at WickDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, go!
And participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up, so drink your toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. Missouri has voted to put a ban on celebratory gunfire. Basically, you can't fire your gun up into the air.
We know. Listen, a lot of places do that. Usually, New Year's Eve is the big one. And in Baltimore, I don't know if it's legal or not legal. I don't know. But every year, once it hit midnight New Year's Eve, people went outside and fired all the guns in the air. The problem was, keep in mind, Baltimore's much more densely populated than most cities.
Sure.
So when your bullets come down, they hit people.
It's raining hellfire.
Right, exactly. So many people, right? So every year, they never said don't do it, but they'd have these PSAs between Christmas and New Year's Day, and I'm sure they did the same thing in D.C. to Ed, where they said, hey, they didn't say don't do it. If you could just remember, this New Year's Eve, when you fire your guns into the air to celebrate the new year, the bullets do come down, and every year, anywhere from 6 to maybe 12 people got hit. No deaths that I remember. People got hit.
Well, okay, so you're firing a gun. So it's going to take off at a certain speed.
Correct.
But based on gravity, it's still going to come down at the speed of gravity. So it's not going to be nearly as intense. It's still a bullet.
It's still a bullet.
That's coming down.
Yes, exactly.
From the sky. That's the problem.
Exactly. Well, and some pointed out that this did come right on the heels of the
KC,
the Chiefs celebration.
Okay, well, the difference with that is they were not celebrating.
No, they were not.
They were targeting.
Yeah. I mean, Missouri, too, though. You can walk around with a long gun.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. It's funny. When we went there for the Chiefs game, difference between Missouri and Kansas, right? Because Kansas City bleeds into both. But when you talk to people there, it came down to gun laws, and how they felt about the other state. And you realize, do not broach this topic with anyone. Just say, I'm glad to be in Kansas City. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it was a thing.
Several parks and playgrounds around Australia were forced to close after their mulch and wood chips were found to be contaminated with asbestos.
That's not good.
We just use carcinogens here in the U.S.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I thought it'd be like some kind of animal.
Nah.
Something weird.
Nope, there was some kid that just brought over like this big old chunk that would like clumped asbestos to his parents. They're like, oh, we need to clean this up. This is not supposed to be here.
So what I'd heard about asbestos was that it's completely benign until it is disturbed.
Mm-hmm. And
so
then
a playground is probably the worst place to put it.
Yeah.
Because everything is disturbed on a playground.
The West Virginia House of Delegates just passed a bill that would make it easier to buy raw milk.
Okay, good luck with that.
No, I get it, though. Look, trying to think how to put this delicately.
I just want me some raw milk.
Because based on where you live and your situation, like, I can milk my own cow.
Right.
Oh, this is available to me from my neighbor down the street. I can sell this and make money. I'm not going to your highfalutin grocery store, which, as you say, Miles, might be 40 miles away.
Sure.
Can I just drink the crap that we can produce here?
I just like the whole fat.
I like it all. I suck it straight off the udder.
I do.
And little Daisy makes this sound. She doesn't go moo. It's more like moo. So I know I'm doing it right. But
she relaxes real good. Comes right out.
Leave the left front udder alone. She'll kick you in the head. It happened to Bobby Jean at least 7 times. I knew he got hit in the head and suddenly he could read.
I think you get raw milk in California, too.
Okay, I know there's a few states where you can. And to me, like, make it available. Look, if people choose to do that, why do you care? Let them do it. Let them do it. Sorry, man. Seat belts, motorcycle helmets, all the stuff. Like, look, personal safety is something you make a decision on in a moment that you don't say. If you get in a car and you don't want to wear a seatbelt, I would recommend that you do. I would strongly recommend that you do. If that person driving chooses not to, you're okay.
Also, most of the time they use it for butter. They make homemade butter.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So then it gets refrigerated.
And while we're on the subject of milk, it seems like that tends to be the product that is kind of the litmus test for where the market is at. You see what the price of milk used to be versus what it is today.
It's always milk.
And it's one of those things that as it gets more and more expensive, you start to think, like, is it even worth the money that I'm spending on it anymore? In fact, there's an entire list of things that are they worth the money?
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 things that are no longer worth their price. There are those that would argue some things are a human fabrication, where capitalism has us creating arbitrary reasons to express or profess our emotions as a mere ploy to get inside our pocketbooks. I say horse hockey. Hey, St. Valentine, suck it. Sweetest day, jump in front of a bus.
Yeah.
His positive reinforcement really should be recreated in fortune cookies. Crack it open, jump in front of a bus.
So these are things that are no longer worth their price. There's a handful on this list. Some honorable mentions. Home ownership shows up. Just based on how much it's skyrocketed and all that.
It depends where you live. Certainly in Seattle, no one could argue that, but yeah.
Boxed cereal, which I've noticed has gotten just ridiculous on the pricing.
It is.
Depending on where
cereal has always been pretty expensive, though.
It has been, but I feel like cereal somehow, they know they're a little more expensive than you believe it should be, but because you already have that belief, they can always stay at the cutting edge of inflation. We're still a little more expensive than you think we should be, but the price of everything's gone up.
It's also a number of servings.
Right.
It's also I know a lot of people like cereal, but it's designed for kids. So you're always, right, look at anything that has to do with kids, it's going to be priced up, because it's like, look, I did it to my mom when I was a kid. Like, we got to get that cereal.
Right. I should like unfrosted shredded wheat as opposed to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Honest to God truth, yeah.
Dining out shows up on the honorable mentions.
It's getting crazy.
It's getting pretty bad. Movie theaters. And honestly, the older I get, when I was younger, it's like, oh yeah, we have to go to the movie theater because I need to see this movie. brand new. I'm so excited for it. The Marvel movies, blah, blah, blah. Anymore, there's a handful that are released on streaming services as well. You don't have to wait terribly long before they're released on the streaming services, other than the fact that you're not going to see it when everybody else does in your peer group.
But I think that's part of the reason that they jack up the prices. I'm not defending them. It's not that. But if anyone so far can make an argument for why we do it, we go, look, within 3 weeks, this movie, The Beekeeper, already out. Just came out. I have no interest in seeing it. It just came out in the theaters. It's already streaming. So, like, for us to make money to have a brick and mortar, we got to charge them.
Right? 12 to $15 for an adult?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
I like to tell people I'm a child. If you don't believe me, ask my mother. I am her child. It doesn't work.
Buying a new car. Soaring prices even for basic new car models coupled with faster depreciation rates have shifted the appeal of buying new vehicles.
That is true, but a lot of people I know now, myself included, they buy the used cars. You're still paying a pretty penny, but instead of giving you $90,000 for this beautiful thing, in
that's
2
what they're saying.
years I'll buy it for $42,000. I go, look, okay,
right? That's what they're saying. Just buy it used.
Yeah,
there's no point in buying a brand new car.
Certified,
right?
But certified, yeah.
You know, used car I mean, you know this, Mike. That used car sales went through the roof too after the pandemic.
Damn right. Nobody was making
crazy.
cars anymore,
and nobody was out in public to see you show off.
Sure.
You know, your ego's 15% of it, right?
Absolutely.
But like, there's nobody out on the road seeing how cool you are.
Chicken wings.
I have not noticed.
Yeah, once an economical food choice, chicken wings have seen a shift in affordability due to supply chain interruptions, rising popularity, and increased demand.
There's a place I like a lot. It is the price of the wings gets me every time.
To be fair, I'm sure they have gone up. I have not noticed because if you have chicken wings on the menu, I just order them. You might get the bill later. I just assume it's booze. I'm not an itemizer, but that's probably true. But I'm just like, man, if they got wings, get the wings. But I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I love this place. I love their wings. Every time I look, it's literally 6 wings, and it's like $16 or $17.
For 6 wings.
There we go.
Jesus. Okay.
Concert tickets.
Yes.
The increasing cost of concert tickets is accentuated by associated fees, has reshaped the experience of attending live events. Especially, the thing that always gets me is that convenience fee for doing it online.
What is the convenience?
Right. You're doing it online.
It was easy for me to go to the box office and buy them, too. Actually, it was more convenient because I had less apps to go through. My wife debated going to Madonna. She likes Madonna. I hate Madonna on multiple reasons. So Saturday night, we went to see John Batiste at Paramount. One of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life. The next night, I want to say Madonna played that night, but she did 2 shows. So the Sunday night show, granted, she got hammered. She's like, I want to go. So it's fine. I'll buy you the ticket. I don't want to go. My wife's whole problem with her was the tickets are too expensive. And I even said, I know for a fact Madonna sucks. If you like her, go see her. And she goes, I'm not paying all the fees. And also, Madonna, the one thing about her versus other artists, she does not respect her listeners enough to show up on time. And sure enough, and she's reading it last night, 10:30 start, falls down, which would have been worth the price of admission right there. But it was like $350 a ticket to see Madonna.
For the privilege of her
here's the thing. Here's the thing. So when she fell down on stage, I think that people noticed, now that she fell down, that's going to happen, right?
Sure.
That's part of a performance, is that her vocals were still going in spite of her not singing.
Aha.
So it's like, you want to spend $350 to not hear them sing?
Right.
She's playing her album.
$350 to see her show up late, fall down on the stage.
Not sing.
Right.
Come on.
New smartphones. Again, this is a list of the things that are no longer worth their price. Which, smartphones, I feel like, have never been worth their price. But
never.
You can't function without them at this point. In our society, I feel like there's more and more jobs that do require you to have a smartphone of some kind. If you don't need a smartphone for your job,
and smartphones can be like almost like cars used to be.
Right.
Like I know some people, it seems crazy to me, but I mean they always want the newest phone, this and that. Whereas like I have other friends that are like have iPhones that are tiny, and they're just like, I don't. It does everything I need.
I want to go backwards in time. I want to go back to a flip phone. I am tired of having a smartphone.
I would say this about smartphones. I'm not a tech guy. I don't care. It means nothing to me. But I do recognize that if you get a smartphone, it used to be you had to get a TV and a computer and something to play your music, right? All these different things. Your smartphone is literally your entire entertainment system and communication device and social media device all in one hand. So I get why they can jack the price, because legitimately you could get rid of everything else.
And most of the technology just goes to camera updates.
Yes.
Which is great. Like if you want a good camera, you got one, but typically you didn't have to pay, $800 for it.
Right. Fast food shows up on the list.
It's getting crazy.
I've quit going because it's just getting too expensive.
And some of the stuff has gotten smaller.
Yes.
Like I thought I was losing my mind,
dude.
Yeah, I won't name the thing, but and then I saw this past week, people were like, no, it definitely got smaller.
Yeah. Cable television shows up. It's been fighting the good fight forever, just hanging on to dear life of live sports.
Cable would do a better job, I believe, lowering the prices. With all the streaming services, cable's kind of, look, you can get network TV on the streaming services. You can get all the streams, obviously, on the streaming services. Cable, dude, maybe lower your price. You probably see a bump in people buying it.
Right. But then the number one thing that's no longer worth its price, still gonna freaking buy it, though. Pizza.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Cost of ordering a pizza has gone up significantly, with the average price for a large pepperoni pizza currently around $17.
What? Yeah, and it depends on where you're going.
Yeah.
There's some pizza places I like, but they are crazy expensive compared to others.
A man in the Virgin Islands was arrested for trying to sell a power converter, Miles.
What was the problem with that?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to get tested on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. All right, we made it to drinking time.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance, too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
yada yada.
And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Over 13,000 people in the Seattle area are homeless. Brian is helping to make a difference through Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
I was addicted to meth, sleeping in my car, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got off drugs, earned a bachelor's degree in theology, and have almost completed a master's in counseling. Today, I'm the director of outreach at the mission.
And grace will lead me home.
To hear more, volunteer, or donate, visit UGM.org.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
yada yada.
And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes.
There you
yes,
go.
indeed. And today we chose 60-year-old Mitchell Vest of Houston, Texas. I believe Mike has more of this coming up. He was almost interior design. I can't explain it. I'll just tell you the story. Now, he's 6'6", 250 pounds, right? He likes to wear kilts. In Seattle, he'd blend right in. He lives in Houston. Well, recently, he and his wife visited a local antiques mall. So Mitchell, he first went to a place called Antique Gallery of Houston. And that's where he placed a makeup brush. Think about what that is, a makeup brush, and a so-called restoration hardware piece up his anus. So your question is, well, was he stealing these things? No, he was not stealing these things. Instead, he returned the merchandise to the shelf, but he was not done. He then headed to the curiosity shop where he put both a bottle opener and a tobacco tent can up that same anus. What is a tobacco tent?
I'm not sure.
Can. I was trying to figure it out. I don't know. Either way, whatever it is, you store something you're going to ingest a little bit later. But like before, he removed these items from his anus and put them back on the shelf. The thing is, he left feces on all 4 objects, which were then thrown away. Anyway, thanks to video evidence and a little CCTV, Mitchell was, in fact, arrested. My question to you, gentlemen. You see a grown-ass man, he's 60 years old, he's a big dude, he's wearing a kilt, he puts objects up his anus and he's not stealing them, puts them back on the shelf. What do you think his bail was? You've been arrested, we have you on video, we see you
$10,000.
Lower.
$500.
$100. So he goes back to trial on February 3rd. Just keep
What
that
town
in
was it in?
This was right outside of Houston.
I mean, it was a curiosity shop.
It was a curiosity shop.
The guy took it to heart.
Yeah. And then he wasn't curious anymore. So
it just looks like one of the old school containers that had tobacco in it.
Yep. Well, it was in his butt. We just still buy it. Freshly out of his butt. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please, everyone? Now, Profile This is played.
The makeup brush, Mike. Yeah, it's a simple game, Miles, where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Our phone lines did what babies do and took a crap again. So, gentlemen, it is between you. We have 3 categories. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did somebody find in their food? Interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. And finally, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
I think based on the shot, we should do interior decorating.
I like it.
Tobacco tent can.
Tent can. I was never familiar with the tobacco tent can until today. And I hate that that's how I learned.
It says curiosity.
It does say curiosity. He misunderstood their point. All right. An ex-con with a lengthy rap sheet. He had something stashed in his rectum when he was booked into the jail. Christopher Boyd, 32 years old. He was a passenger in a vehicle that was pulled over around 2 o'clock in the morning for an obstructed license plate. Now, the driver and the second passenger, they were eventually released after being searched by the cops. A pat-down of Boyd, however, turned up a small bag with multiple pills in his right sock. Now, Boyd reportedly said he got the narcotics from his, quote, Aunt Trish, and believed the pills to be Percocet. He said he used a painkiller because he has a bullet lodged in his spine, which is true. Now, before being placed in a police cruiser, Boyd was searched, though he claimed to be unable to spread his legs very far due to the spine injury. Now, while searching in Boyd's groin area, they say Boyd tensed up, and they added he asked the suspect if he had anything stuffed in his groin or his buttocks. Boyd said, I don't. Well, upon arriving at the county jail, Boyd was now walking with a limp and appeared to be clenching his butt when he walked. Now, Boyd was then placed in a body scanner, which detected an object in his groin region. The strip search located 2 plastic bags containing marijuana tucked next to Boyd's scrotum. Police then sought to remove an unknown item from Boyd's rectum. Now, while Boyd continued to clench his butt, A cop, quote, was able to see an object that Boyd had in his rectum. Have I done this before? All right, good.
Seagull just flew, like, we're up on the 14th floor. He was just, like, staring at Mike and I.
Okay, no,
that's why we're smiling, like, whoa.
I was like, okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, the item was subsequently removed from inside Boyd's body and secured in a patrol car. He's charged with an assortment of felony drug and trafficking charges. He was booked into the county jail where he's being held without bail. What did the cops find in this poop crevice? That's the question. Was it more drugs? Was it brass knuckles? Was it a gun, Ted, or was it a pipe? So more drugs, brass knuckles, a gun, or pipe. What did they find in his butt?
I'm assuming drug pipe for that option. Usually you say meth or crack pipe.
Yeah, well, yes, a drug pipe, not like Frosty the Snowman pipe. Also smoked tobacco. Yes, I meant a drug pipe, yes.
I don't know. Ted, it's weird. I'm going to go brass knuckles. Because he was really clenching to hold it in. That seems heavy.
Oh, yeah. And they were like, dude, for real. It's like,
I know a gun's also heavy. I'm just going to go there.
Yeah, I'm going gun.
Gun for Ted?
I always go gun.
You always go gun. I know.
Law of averages, it's a gun. Thinking on it, Miles, I was going to jump in on brass knuckles with you.
Okay, brass knuckles.
Uh-oh.
What did he have hidden in the backside? More drugs, brass knuckles, a gun, or a pipe? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
Meet the New Balance Fuel Cell 4040 V7, the choice of elite ball players like Michael Harris. Engineered for responsiveness and agility, this versatile option is built for speed demons who demand peak performance. With fuel cell foam underfoot and a synthetic mesh upper, experience unparalleled breathability, comfort, and a secure fit as you round the bases. The nitrogen-infused fuel cell midsole propels you forward with every step, ensuring you stay ahead of the game. Learn more and purchase the 4040 at newbalance.com.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories: interior decorating. On profile this, we have an ex-con who stashed something in his backside. When he was being booked into jail, he was in a car with a bunch of buddies, but apparently he was the guy that had all the stuff.
Yeah, he was walking funny.
So he had pills on him in his sock. Also, he was trying to conceal something in his backside while being booked into jail. So the question is, did he have more drugs, brass knuckles, a gun, or a pipe?
Let us start with our very own Mike Hawk and Miles Montgomery. Both you guys went with the old brass knuckles, which
Seems
I don't know why
crazy.
I find so funny, but it was not brass knuckles. Ted, because you always do, you went with a gun. If it's a backside and gun is an option,
It's a
you
gun.
pick gun. Yeah. You're
Get out.
correct.
There you go.
He had a gun in his butt. Jesus.
It's not always gun, but
no, but you always.
I feel
pick
confident
gun.
with gun.
I really prefer it if it's in the woman's secret purse.
The vagina.
I thought we had a.
That's no secret, Ted. That's a change person.
It's been a secret to me the last few months.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the men's room presents TV Time with Ted.
Need a little water, Ted? You thirsty?
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I think, like a lot of people, you're still, this is just a tough time of year. All right, I'm going to say it. There's no football. College basketball's going, but you're not into March Madness yet. I know. I want to say, I think high school hoops are kind of starting the end of season tournaments and stuff. But just, you just get used to having Sundays and football and this and that. So I did watch last week. I started watching the Netflix show about NASCAR.
All right.
So I wanted to be a little more involved. And frankly, one of our listeners said, hey, Ted, you should watch this. I think you'll like it. Show's not bad. The NASCAR guys are, like, I get it. Denny Hamlin, seems like all the fans hate him. And at first, you're like, Denny Hamlin's kind of a D. Then you realize, like, they're all kind of Ds.
Sure, of course.
Like, Joey Logano comes off very nice, but then you realize a lot of people don't like him either. And I also did take into consideration the make of the car. So, like, I was talking to somebody this weekend, and I said, I'm getting into NASCAR. I know you're a NASCAR guy. And he's like, yeah, but they don't drive an American car. And I was like, well, I've got a 2006 Acura. It's not my place to judge. Right. So I did watch the Daytona 500. It had an exciting finish, I thought. A lot of people are pissed off about it. But the interesting thing is the guy that won, and you'll hear him say it right here after he wins the race, started at home on a simulator.
I can't believe it, man. It's this is incredible. I had a much different background than anybody in the sport growing up racing on the computer, and to make it to the Daytona 500 and win the race is pretty amazing. So honestly, it hasn't really sunk in. It's the craziest race. I mean, we're 2 and 3 wide all day. It takes everything you have, so it's pretty cool.
Right, so basically he learned about tracks and everything, playing on his computer, then a simulator, and he was so good at it. And then during the pandemic, a lot of the regular racers, and I remember this from F1 as well, were playing on these games, and this kid kept beating everybody. So finally, Hendricks was like, let's see what he can do.
Put him out there, yeah.
Right, and he's part of that Netflix series, and he's like, once I got into a real car, he's like, obviously it's a lot different, but he started winning races, and now it's like people are looking forward to it. I've also come to realize that there's like 2 things in NASCAR that are important. Number 1 is winning a title. But number 2 is you got to win at Daytona. So there's some guys who have won the title, but they've never won the 500. And it's got to be the 500. So they race there again.
Yep.
And it's like a big deal. Or you got my guy, Denny Hamlin, who wins a lot of races, wins the 500, but he can't win a title.
Have you, Ted, have you ever spent any time in Daytona Beach?
I have never been to Daytona in my life.
Okay, so I thought that Key West was like the most lawless place I've ever been. As far as just wow, this is...
Yeah.
But Key West is more like...
a different kind of debauchery.
Right. You're talking about probably weed before it was legal in Florida, maybe some alternative lifestyles. Daytona is we're racing cars and motorcycles on the beach.
Yes. I mean, it is a different level of wow, this is a culture I've never experienced.
Yeah, I've never been down there. And I mean, look, it's interesting. I will say, to me, NASCAR is always going to have a giant issue with just you finish your season in the fall, right? Like the MLS season will start up soon, and you've heard me and Throw go blue in the face since 2009 talking about it. It's just tough when you have MLS Cup either at the end of November or early December, and you're trying to compete with the NFL. Yeah. The NFL has done a very good job in this country of just being the sport. Right? Like, I love college football. Like, but even the NBA and hockey and baseball still, to me, is probably number 2. But, I mean, the NFL dominates American sports landscape.
Without a doubt.
Right. And it's pretty simple. I will say the NBA, look, personally, and I like the NBA. Well, it's hard to watch anymore. There's no defense in that league. But that All-Star game, I thought just sucked. It wasn't very exciting. And I get it, it's an All-Star game. But, like, they played no defense. And then I've seen, so this has been a giant topic, right? Especially online and on the sports shows. And there's been a lot of pushbacks. People were like, yeah, but the ratings were up. And I kept seeing that. So then today I did a little research, and it's like, the ratings were up 20% from last year. Mm-hmm. But last year's NBA All-Star game was the least watched. This was the second least watched.
It's all about how you spend
it's all uphill from now.
The numbers. Right, it's all you and that's the beauty of statistics, man. You can take a horrible statistic, which this is the second worst watch, but all you got to say is, so from last year by this much percent.
Yeah, and I said this earlier off the air, but you got to keep in mind, baseball started All-Star games because back in the day, like if you were a Yankees or a Red Sox fan, you never saw the National League teams unless you were in the World Series. So you just didn't see those guys. So the All-Star game was a chance to be like, oh, hey, we can go watch, I don't know, like some other great baseball player because he's going to play at our stadium. Yeah. So, like, I don't even know, truthfully, that we need All-Star games, period, anymore, especially with the Internet. You don't even have to have sports channels. You can just go online and see what LeBron did last night.
Yeah, it's kind
of the same way the Super Bowl started. The whole idea was you did not watch teams from the AFL if you're in a National Football League town. So you never saw the Chiefs if you lived in Green Bay.
Right.
You never saw the Raiders. You never saw any of these teams. So they said, well, look, we'll just play one game at the end. Whoever the champion is from each, league takes on. Look at what happened. And then the whole thing folded in together, obviously. But
Well, and I'd say the other thing, too, with the NBA is like the dunk contest. Now, look, I know who Mac McClellan is, all right? I've been following him since he's in high school, and he played at Georgetown. Look, the kid could ball, but he just can't stay on an NBA roster. So he plays in the D League, and then somebody gives him a 10-day contract, and he comes up, and he's got bounce for real.
Right.
I don't know if you saw any of his dunks. It's unreal. But I'm like, I want to see the real NBA players go out there and compete in a dunk contest. So, little boring, but, like I said, sad time of year. Got to get into that stuff. All right. Every Thanksgiving when we talk about different shows and holidays, I never knew this about this episode, but Peanuts is pretty famous for their holiday specials. Yeah. Obviously, the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and then I'd say the Christmas ones are the dominant ones, but the Thanksgiving one is there as well.
It's the best they have.
Right, and Thrill, it's, me and my memory. Like, I can remember sitting in a random hotel bar, and it's right before Thanksgiving, you're like, watch when Franklin, the one black character, walks in for Thanksgiving. And it's funny because Charlie Brown high-fives him.
Right, but everyone else that walks in, hi Lucy, hi Sally, hi Peppermint Patty, Franklin walks in, they don't say a word, they just high-five, and off they go. And you can't not see it once you know it's there.
Right, and then I think we've even talked that you don't see him much. Well, it turns out there's not a lot known about Franklin. There's going to be a new special now streaming on Apple TV Plus called Snoopy Presents Welcome Home Franklin, and it's about how Franklin joined the group. Basically, he's the first black Peanuts character. Charles Schultz drew him in 1968 following a suggestion from a white female school teacher in L.A. If you're not familiar with your history, or maybe you're just younger, like this is right after Martin Luther King gets assassinated. And this,
yeah.
So she was like, hey, it might be good to have a black character in there. He took the suggestion. He created a comic strip where Franklin meets Charlie at the beach.
The beach, huh? I'm black.
And then he makes
he didn't.
He makes his animated debut in 1973 in a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Oh, that was his first appearance.
Right, so he had been in the comic strip, but he was in none of the animated cartoons. Okay. And then at Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, he got invited over, and there he was. I
did not know that. No, it's great. That's great.
I always thought we were kind of making jokes about him not getting enough screen time, kind of tongue-in-cheek.
Nah, dog.
Right, when I read it today, I was like, oh, no. And it's like, yeah, we know nothing about him. Like, where did he come from? How did he get there? But you also got to be careful.
Apple will explain this.
Right. You don't want to just turn on the Thanksgiving special and be like, what's Franklin doing there?
Why is his brother in my home?
So,
he's getting his own special. I'll be damned.
Yeah, and look, obviously people
it's called Why Do White Women At?
People get upset, and I don't blame them around the holidays that you got to have Apple TV to see the specials.
Yeah.
But now the advantage of Apple TV having them is stuff like this, where ABC, whoever used to have them, or CBS, wasn't going to be like, put in a production of Franklin special.
I want to see where Snoopy came from. Did they go to the pound, right? Did they adopt him? Was he a stray dog?
He's a beagle, so he's probably a rescue. He's probably involved in medical experimentation.
And they've either covered it, or it's been in there, or he's always been there, so we don't question it.
Okay.
They're just saying, Franklin showed up a little bit after it was established, so people are like, we don't even have a backstory for this guy.
So other people moved out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like TV. Like TV, they don't do it as much anymore. They still do it on some shows where you just change out the actor or something.
That ain't the real Franklin.
Right. You just don't address it. Like for me, the big one was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There was
Aunt Viv.
Yeah. But after 2 seasons, they swapped her out for a different woman. And it's like, it was just like, all right, that's what happens. And I remember my mom being like, it used to happen on soaps all the time.
Definitely soap operas. I know they did it on Roseanne. They whoever played Becky, I don't know, the blonde daughter. Right. And then they replaced her with the woman that ended up being on Scrubs, the blonde chick. And then they brought back, what is it called, the Condors now, and they went back to the original, whatever her name is.
And then it happened with Tim Allen's show. They replaced one of the daughters on that one as well.
Every vacation movie had different kids. It seemed like.
Right.
On Bewitched, they had 2 different Darrens. So,
Right. And you're talking a main character, man.
At least with the soap, they either had surgery or had amnesia or something like that. It was all a dream. They had an excuse.
There's the saying, suspension of disbelief. But I believe on soap operas, you adopt that more than any. Sure. You could watch The Hobbit, seems more realistic than a soap opera. I'm more likely to be attacked by a dragon than deal with any of the things that these people here are dealing with. The evil twin. Contract negotiations.
Well, I will say in the vacation movies too, like it is funny because like you watch original Vacation and then European Vacation, but then it's a long time.
Oh yeah,
before Christmas Vacation comes out. But like Audrey was like they had to kind of change some of that stuff, right? Because Audrey was always a little pudgier and this and that. And it's like, well, they're not going to make those jokes anymore.
Not with Juliette Lewis.
Right. And then I can't remember who the last girl was by the time
Anthony Michael Hall was one of
Vegas Vacation.
And then, Vegas was the last one that was like mainstream. They probably did one or two more.
But I mean, look, we're seeing it right now. And look, those kids, they're adults now, but with Stranger Things, right? Like between the pandemic and stuff, they're like, look, we got to get in and we have to film this now.
Writers strike
They're like
pandemic.
in their 19 or early 20s. Like they just don't look like children anymore.
Millie Bobby Brown just turned 20.
Correct. So she's supposed to be 12 or 13. Like that's a little tough. And I know what's his name, Finn, the kid with like the curly hair or whatever. Yeah. Like I mean, he's grown a lot. And just physically, he's just gotten bigger.
And it's about when you see them, right? Because Beverly Hills 90210 came out. They're all high school students. They're all in their 20s. The guy that everyone liked, the bad boy, I can't remember his name. He was in his 30s at the time.
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry. But you had never seen them before then, so everyone was okay with it.
Yeah, you also said your kids had a weird with Harry Potter. Just once they started watching the movies, the age difference between the characters.
The problem that my kids had was, when the movies came out, it was released within the years that they would have grown that much. That's one thing. My kids kind of binged it, so they watch, the second Harry Potter, but they're still like children. You get to the third one, and my kids are like, wait, they're like 4 years older, and at the time they're watching it, it's hard to explain, like. Well, yeah, but they honest to God, they lost interest because these little kids that related to them no longer, they're like, what the hell, man? We're on the third movie. These are teenagers now.
Yeah, and some of the stuff at TV and movies is just silly for high school kids. I mean, look, I love All American. You watched it yet?
I have not watched it, Ted.
But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff they're I get they're supposed to live in an expensive neighborhood in Beverly Hills, but like some of the stuff they're doing, you're like, that's just not realistic for high school.
Franklin will still be 8.
Correct.
That's the beauty of anime.
Exactly. Or even when I started watching, Karate Kid, the
Cobra
new
Kai.
one. Cobra Kai,
yeah.
Right? Like you look it up, it's like, all right, yeah. Some of these kids seem very athletic and a little more, it's like, yeah, they're like 21, 22.
Oddly enough, Ralph Macchio still looks younger than any of his young co-stars.
Mm-hmm. He does. He's aged very well.
Yes.
He's,
and his hair is younger than all of them as well. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to Philadelphia, where motorists on I-95 see a real Philadelphia Philly running down the street. Meanwhile, a Florida doctor is fined for radiating the wrong teat.
Police looking for person who lost his leg on a railroad track. Man likes antiquing to find things for his crack. And a runaway dog wins $139 on a lottery scratch-off ticket. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story. We go to the Virgin Islands, where a man chose the wrong prospective customer. He made his way into the local car wash, finding the owner of a nearby mechanic shop and attempted to sell her a power converter that was in his possession. The shop owner took a look at the converter and noticed something about it that caused her to call authorities. Turns out, she had already called police a few days earlier because her car was broken into and she had several items stolen from it, including a power converter. After realizing that the man was trying to sell her her own converter back, she called police and the man is now facing charges. Good work there, buddy. Of all the people that you try to sell it to, you just happen to land on the one that you stole it from.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the irony.
I just hope he legit had zero reason to believe that it was her.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was her. Probably just bad criminal.
Right?
Yeah.
Got it. In other news, we go to Texas, where we revisit our shot of the day honoree. A man in a kilt was spotted by multiple witnesses shopping around an antique mall, inserting multiple items into his rectum, and then promptly removing them and putting them back on the shelves. Surveillance footage was submitted to authorities of the 60-year-old man as he contaminated a makeup brush, a tobacco tent can, an antique bottle opener, he did, and a restoration hardware piece. He's facing several charges. You're 60 years old, dude.
I hate that I'm laughing.
For contaminated?
I know, I understand. No, just for his actions.
Right?
I know it's ridiculous.
Well, and we had this discussion off the air. It's like, okay, you love messing with our boy VD. If you were to go over there and put his pen in your rectum and then back on his desk, you're still an a-hole, but I understand.
Who says I haven't?
But I understand why you did it. It's kind of funny. You're being a jerk on purpose. Okay. Yeah. This man is inserting things into his rectum, putting them back on the shelves, and then I'm assuming that he intended to leave. I don't think he planned on just camping out waiting for she's going to touch it.
No, it was they got him on a closed circuit.
Right.
That's the thing. And apparently he had been there a few times before.
And
so the clients were like, oh, no, he's nice. He's great. He's this.
Oh, sure he is.
I mean, antique shops seem like an easier place to go about this than like a normal store.
Sure, you need some privacy, right? You need some time.
I don't go to a ton of antique shops, but it seems like usually there's only one, maybe two people working.
Exactly.
And there's not they don't always seem super busy.
Right.
Like if I was going to hide something back there.
And it's endless corridors of different rooms.
Yeah, it is. A lot of different shelves and whatnot.
Do you think they were happy that he was? Because you watch the video and you go, man, he's stealing. No, he's not stealing from us. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Like, I would be happier if
he
were
was stealing, that'd be one thing. If he was pleasuring himself, that would be one thing as well.
I get it.
He was just contaminating the doggone things and putting them back on the shelf. That's just gross, dude.
Jesus God.
That's just gross. And again, coming from somebody who had to clean up a bathroom that had a prank that was set, and thank God it didn't fall for the booby trap, but it's like, you didn't even get to see it. What's the damn point?
It's the long game, Mike.
It's not even a game.
It is. I've never done that, but I can relate to the long game. Look, somebody is going to be upset in the future.
He just sits there and just sips his coffee knowing somebody's going to touch it. Like, come on, man. That's just gross.
I'm with you. Just steal it.
Exactly. At least then I can just, okay, you stole it. This makes no sense.
I would never fly on Pawn Stars.
You're damn right. Oh, God. How much did
you want for this? Less than it was originally.
Yeah, he's a whiz. A doctor in Florida is in hot water after making a little mistake with a big impact. He was recently on the job supervising radiation therapy on a patient with breast cancer. The good news is the procedure did exactly what it was supposed to. They lined it up on the left breast, fired off the radiation, and can happily report that there is no cancer in the left breast. Because her cancer is in the right breast.
Oh.
The supervisor.
I get cancer. I don't know my L from my R.
The supervising doctor has now been ordered to pay $9,000 in fines and investigation fees due to the incident. Oops. I wonder if that can cause other problems down the line. Because it's not like radiation's like, hey, don't worry, you're okay if you do it elsewhere. Right. Like, this is, we have no other option. We're now going to irradiate your boob to try to get some of that gone. It's not exactly healthy. Criminy. To Montana, where a A Montana Army National Guard recruitment poster is being taken down. The poster was shared to social media after people noticed something a little unsettling about it. The poster features a command sergeant major holding a picture of his veteran grandfather with faded images of soldiers from the past behind him. But folks started bringing to light that the soldiers pictured behind him in the poster are not American soldiers, but German World War II soldiers.
Jesus God,
Nazis?
dude, really?
Pretty much, yeah.
German World War II soldiers.
They've since pulled the poster. And just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth,
thankfully, there's good news.
A bus driver in North Carolina is being called a hero for her actions while transporting students. At one point during the ride, the driver noticed the engine compartment of the bus catch fire. Side note, bad news.
She noticed. Okay, good.
Huh. Wow, that's not supposed to happen. Thinking quickly and staying calm, the driver safely and effectively unloaded all of the children off of the bus and away to safety while firefighters arrived on the scene to put out the blaze. 15 minutes later, the situation was under control and the students were safely transported to where they needed to go. Gotta love it.
Good, man. Good on her.
In the world of sports, there's nothing but college basketball on tonight on all the ESPN channels, FS1 and CBS Sports. I did see that there was some super motocross that was on as well if you wanted to go and check that out.
All right.
As far as your weather, expect cloudy skies and mid-40s tonight. The rain is going to kick up in the middle of the night into tomorrow with temperatures in the high 40s with a high of 51 degrees. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Who Sucks Less. We have more Pearl Jam tickets.
Yep.
As does Kevin Deers, who's up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
As we start into the new year, a lot of people are looking to get healthier. That includes Hero Bread, delicious real bread with benefits. Hero Bread have just launched their new recipe using heart-healthy olive oil. Hero Bread serves up 0 to 1 grams of net carbs, 5 to 11 grams of protein, and high fiber in every delicious serving. Made with natural ingredients, Hero Bread supports gut health, promotes weight management, and helps maintain blood sugar, all with no compromise on the taste, texture, and bready goodness you expect from your favorites. Now they're listening to their fans and updating their recipe with olive oil, an antioxidant-rich oil that's been shown to reduce cholesterol and minimize the risk of heart disease. Our products are just like the flour-based foods you're used to because they are made the exact same traditional way, using 4 key ingredient components and none of the bad stuff. Try it today with code IHM10 for 10% off your purchase at hero.co. That's code IHM10 for 10% off at hero.co.